Welcome back to Factory Sealed. It is February 16th, 2020. My name is Eric Peterson. Joining me today, Mr. Tom Reagan.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, Tom.
Full of high energy today.
A little bit.
Yeah.
You suddenly turned it on. You're a little lackluster.
Oh no, I always wait until the curtain goes up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose. We also got Mr. Mike Tyson.
Every
Don't
night.
start the show this way.
You asked me if I was going to do it again, and I did.
You did.
That came from the inside, that did.
I should have seen that coming. That's going to last a lifetime. You're here.
I am.
There's nothing I fear.
Wherever you are. So for anyone who doesn't have the the unwrap, this is not going to make any sense.
Oh.
Boy, howdy, it's a hell of an unwrapped this week. But anyway, hi. Hello, hi.
Hey, hey.
Hi. It's been a while.
It has. It's my first show of 2020.
Is
Is it really?
Yeah.
No.
It has. Yeah, it's been wild. I wasn't on .hack or Conquer.
This is
So,
only our third show of the year. That's right.
Yeah, we dialed it back a little. You know, we have we gave ourselves room to breathe.
Jesus,
We have to do
2020 has
that.
been a hell of a year already. Wow.
There's been a lot of shit. Some good, mostly bad.
What was the last year that was just universally shit for everyone on the show? Is it 2016?
2016.
God damn, that year sucked.
I'll never forget that year.
Like, I don't even think I can recap
Hey,
everything.
wait, isn't that the year I joined?
Yeah, that's where things really
No.
went downhill.
No, you joined the year after.
Did I?
Yeah, because I was in
Are you
Japan
sure?
in 2017.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop fucking second guessing me.
Yeah.
Well, I am going to look, because I do
It's
not
Tom
believe
fucking Reagan. Okay?
Like, I get my timelines pretty,
Fucked up.
But
I meant to
feel there's a
say.
but coming on.
There we go.
Hang on. Factory
Sorry,
sealed.
sorry, everyone. Can we just stop? Mike's doing some fact checking.
I am. Factory sealed. The name is
It's
in
right
the
in the
show.
name, Tom.
Yeah.
Right there. Everything we say is
Wait.
fact.
Hang on. Oh, right, hang on. He might be right. He might,
Get the facts.
My
he
name
might be right. Hang on. Yeah, 2017, 8th of May. The Afternoon Gym Show.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. You're welcome.
There you go.
That's it. Yeah, 2016 though. That was a rough year. I think all of us were just
That was just life in general, was just dick punch after dick punch.
consistent dick punches for everybody.
Yeah.
Apart from maybe Dan.
Yeah, Dan just seems to avoid the dick punches.
Yeah,
They must not be a
yeah.
common occurrence in Het.
They haven't discovered dick punching in Het yet? I don't know.
Life hasn't gotten around to the Het universe yet. But yeah, I tell you what, this past 2 weeks has been rough. Obviously, I had to go back to Wisconsin for that funeral, but it seemed like everybody in my family decided to get sick again. And this time it was even worse. So over Christmas, I was on death's doorstep with the sickest I've been in 10 years. And then my body went, oh, hey, by the way, we're going to get even worse. And I woke up with the most severe case of strep throat I've ever had. And I don't think I've had strep in 25 years. Like, I couldn't even swallow. Just laying in bed in the middle of the night, just trying to get something down my throat going, okay, just here we go. Extremely dry. Called up the doctor, like, nope, viral, suck it up. Woke up the next day.
How is that an issue for you when your diet is like 99.9% coffee anyway?
Yeah, but when you can't swallow that coffee, like I couldn't even swallow liquid. It hurt that bad.
You need a drip.
I know. I just wanted to just start injecting stuff. But then my daughter got sick again, and Christy got into a car accident and totaled her car, all in a span of 3 days. So it's been fun.
Life is good, though.
Life's great. I'm here. I'm breathing. Got a roof
Is
over
Christy
my
okay,
head.
though?
Got Mr. Pibb to pour
man.
down my throat.
Oof.
if your throat's open.
Yeah. I just poured
Mr.
it
Pibb
in and
probably
like just
wasn't
let
doing
it.
you any favors.
What's that?
Mr. Pibb might have not been doing you any favors, son.
Oh no, that opened things up on both ends.
Could you not get like some kind of anesthetic and make like your entire throat numb and then like just so that you can open it up?
I tried. I still had some of those Cepacol drops from when you were here last year, and you brought the Black Death with you.
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah, I still had
My
some.
eyes were just falling out. That was the problem.
Well, who had the cough? Who had the sore throat?
Dan, but he claims it was from my house. He claimed it was Tyson typhoid.
Oh, so Dan brought it over.
Yeah.
I see.
Well, I mean, he did stay at my house like the night before, my old house, which was the mold house.
Yeah, he was probably feeling faint even then. Just
Maybe.
Yeah, so speaking of Dan, he's not here because he had a singular adult responsibility and needs a break. In his words, I want to read this. In his words, gentlemen, I'm going to withdraw for today's show. I honestly can't be bothered. I spent most of the day yesterday trying to fix a door and just want to relax.
That's such a punch in the face.
That's almost worse than Tom's cream.
Well, at least I turned up. I just had to go and get some cream, and then I had to come back.
To be fair, we don't know what was wrong with the door, but it's no less funny.
But it's done now. He's done the door.
Yeah.
To
Come
tomorrow's
relax
another
with
day.
us.
He spent a Saturday daytime not sat on his sofa playing games and just threw him for 6.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Tried to get up to podcasts and he just fell over and hit the floor.
I need to lie down. But he lies down for the show.
Oh, God, he does. You're right.
I forgot about that. I totally forgot that is exactly his posture when he's doing the shows. He's lying down.
So he turns into La Pumpkin.
I just need to relax.
La pumpkin.
Do you know what, right, as well? He was going, oh, I always get loads of shit when I miss the show and no one else gets any shit. Bullshit. That was a lot of shits
Bullshit.
in 1 minute, but bullshit. He gives me loads of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Bless
That
him.
was-
What do you think was wrong with his door?
Well, because he lives out in the country, I assume it's one of those that splits at the top and the bottom, like a horse door.
That's
So I imagine there's something to do with that mechanism. You know, like one of those where if you open the top bit, like you look like a horse, but if you open the top bit, the bottom bit, you look like you're taking a dump.
Yeah.
It's got 2 doorknobs, and he grabbed the wrong one and opened the top as he continued walking and stumbled forward. Flipped ass over tits.
I once knew somebody who thought that expression was arse over tip, not over tit.
Oh no.
Wow.
Yeah.
My grandma calls it ass over tea kettle.
I think that's just to, make it sound a bit.
But she's saying
child-friendly.
ass. Why wouldn't you say tits? Come on, grandma.
I know.
Get the T word
I
out there.
suppose.
Grandma, use the correct T word.
Testicles.
Top hat.
Testicles.
Testicles.
Arse over top hat.
So yeah.
But an ass is a donkey, so that's fine.
That's a burro. Burro.
Donkey, burrow, donkey.
Burro.
Burrow sounds like a
Yeah,
Pokemon,
Mike froze.
a ground type.
Oh, he just sped up.
Yeah. Oh my.
Oh.
Must be that
Oh my.
sweet 4G
Yeah.
hug
Burrow
you got.
sounds like if it wasn't already a thing, you were for sure like Burrow would be a Pokemon, some sort of ground type.
Yes.
Diglett and Burrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It wouldn't look like just a dick coming out of the ground.
I saw a picture. I don't know. Maybe one of you guys sent that, or it was on the Facebook group page. But Diglett's nose is red with that one white
Yeah, it was
spot.
me.
I always thought that was his mouth. I didn't know that was supposed to be his nose.
Did you really?
Yeah, I just thought that
Really?
was his mouth. So I
You
looked at
thought
that
it's just
picture
like
and went, oh, I mean, that's his mouth, I guess. I just saw his kind of a dopey little mole. Duh. I'm a diglet.
I can't look at it the same way again, to be fair.
Did you say dicklet or dicklet?
I'll let you decide.
Okay.
Why not both? Have you guys ever seen that image where like it's like the diglet coming through the ground and then there's just like a muscular guy underneath it is his dick?
And to
That is
Google.
brilliant.
This is going to
Go
be
on, you can find
dangerous.
it, surely.
Diglet.
Do you think Dan will come and fix my door for me? And then he'll have to take like 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
Here it is.
The word.
So we have over the weekend. This weekend we've had a Storm Dennis.
Such
the UK. Yeah, that's the one. Storm Dennis hit the UK, which this now looks completely different. Sorry, I'm going back and forth here, but this image now looks even worse now. You're thinking that as a mouth with one tooth on the dick. Storm Dennis has been hitting the UK this weekend, and my front door has not been fitted correctly on my new house, which they're fixing on Tuesday. But however, the bad timing, because the door is not fitted properly, our hallway was flooded this morning when we woke up, which was nice.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's like there's some sort of ecological disasters going on in the world right now.
Maybe. Who knows? Ah, dear. How about you, Tom? Are you on any disasters?
Yeah. How's your 2020? Dick punch?
It's been a dick punch, a few dick punches. Yeah, my partner's father's not very well. I lost an old friend yesterday. She was in an accident in New Zealand. I didn't like. I'm not going to say that she was like a best friend, a close friend, or anything like that. I knew her pretty well in my first year at university, and so it was one of those things where you see a news story and it just hits you pretty hard.
Well, yeah, because you're not
like
anticipating it. You're not expecting it.
No, I follow her on whatever Facebook and stuff, and you see that everyone's just carrying on with their life, post studies and everything, and just cracking on. But just to suddenly get hit with that news story was really. It just makes you feel like life is just so fleeting, And
It's such a shitty way to find out as well. Like, obviously, I know you're not necessarily close with her now, but to thinking, news story, and you go, oh, fuck.
Well, I mean, it's a pretty big to-do, though. It wasn't just like it was an accident, like car accident. It involved a massive effort. So
yeah. So yeah, it was nuts. And honestly, like I came online yesterday to do I had some stuff I needed to do, just general admin shit. And once I saw that news story, I just dropped everything and I spent the whole day thinking about it. It was awful. Yeah. I just couldn't get my head around it. I kept thinking about the families, and I kept thinking about like just how abrupt it was, and just it's kind of, this is the thing about the internet. It's so freaky when you look at when someone's passed away, the last things they've said online.
Yeah.
It's just really creepy, and you feel like you shouldn't see it, but I don't know.
I hope my last words aren't taken from anything I put in our WhatsApp chat.
Well, the last audio recording is this podcast.
Today we bury Mike Tyson. He died as he lived, bitching about Brexit.
Mine would probably be some form of long, wet fart noise.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Eric, you know what you should put in your will? Like, you should put in your will that, like, there needs to be, like, before they lower the coffin into the ground, there should be, like, whoopee cushions underneath. So that when
just for comedic relief. No, so actually, Christy and I have talked about that since my grandfather's funeral. We realized, you know what? We've never actually told each other what we want to have happen when we die. And I said, I don't want a funeral. I don't want people standing around crying. Instead,
I want to be fired out of a cannon.
just put me into an old muzzle loader from the Revolutionary War and shoot me off. No, I want to have
I don't die after this podcast now, and people think that's one of my final wishes. I actually
I told her, take all the money, just rent out a hall and have an open bar and a single microphone at the front, and just have people get up and tell stories and have a good fucking time and drink. And
Can I sing Celine Dion?
you can just sing whatever the fuck you want. I'm going to be dead, so I don't have to listen to it.
That's true. I still think you should go with the whoopee cushion idea.
I don't want to be in a coffin. Fuck that.
Oh no.
I mean, you'll be dead. You don't care.
I don't want to be in a coffin. I learned way more about cremation this past week than I ever thought I possibly would, because I was actually at the crematorium and like by the machine and watching it all happen. Like not by Grandpa.
I thought you were going to
but,
say I was stoking the fire.
No. No, it's a super interesting process. So, yeah.
Crazy.
I
Well,
was in there toasting marshmallows.
Oh my God. Jesus.
s'mores.
My grandpa was quite particular about his s'mores. He actually taught me the perfect way. He always got really upset when I would do s'mores because I would just stick it in the fire and wait for it to just light on fire and turn all black. He's like, no, you're doing it wrong. He would hold it like 3 feet above and just slowly rotate it until it caramelized. But Grandpa, I've eaten 6 in the time it's taken you to make 1.
Yeah,
But
but I
he's
bet
like,
his was good.
this one tastes so good though, right?
Yeah, but when it comes to s'mores, it's quantity over
You
quality.
could learn a lot from him, buddy, about patience and all that lot.
Nah,
Clues in the name. S'more.
I need some more of these.
I've had s'more than you.
had s'more. They're not called sless.
Grandpa. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's been dick punch after dick punch. Something else happened at the start of the year. Like I don't remember. It's just been overshadowed by everything else. And also I was really fucking ill at the end of December.
Yeah, we all were.
Beginning of January. Jesus, I was so ill.
God, is it my turn next?
No, get all this
like-
shit out of the way. I want us to actually have a time where we get together and all of us are healthy.
Oh wait, that was why I wasn't on Dot Hack, because I was really fucking ill. Yeah. So
No, you just
yeah.
didn't want to play dot
You've
hack.
been dot hacked.
No, I was already not on that show anyways. But I just happened to be again really fucking unwell. I had the flu, fever. You ever had night sweats?
It's usually because I've eaten too much meat.
Jesus. That's bad.
Have you never had the meat sweats?
No.
You've never had the meat sweats? Oh, Tom,
No.
we're gonna get you the meat sweats when you're here.
Yeah.
No, that
On,
sounds...
on
gonna
Thursday
keep
night
funneling
after Mike
meat.
lands, we are going to barbecue an obscene amount of meat, and you are going to get the meat sweats.
We're going to just funnel it in your mouth and then upload it to Clips for Sale.
Yeah.
We're going to make some money.
We're going to upload it to X Hamster.
Is
Tom's
that a
meat
real
sweats.
Is that a real thing?
Oh, dude, fucking
What?
meat sweats are a thing.
Shit, they are. If
We're going to
eat
get
too
you
much
some
red
ribs,
meat-
some hamburgers, some steaks.
Did you not know this?
I'm not sure if that's good for you.
Oh, it's horrible
No.
for you.
No, too much meat's never good for you.
Oh, no, we got,
So
we got
why
me
do you
the
do
meat
it?
sweats.
Because it's delicious.
Oh, my God. I Googled meat sweats and came up with this onesie that I'm going to buy now.
What? I didn't catch a word of that. All I heard was meat sweats and onesie.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I need that. They're my meat sweats.
Oh my god, Arby's.
Oh, my God. No, not Arby's, not the wet skin sandwiches.
I don't think you get... well, we don't get Arby's in the UK, but
Have you ever had Arby's?
Mike, it's disgusting.
It is literally like eating a wet skin sandwich. The bun, is some reason, is moist, and it's just,
I had like 2 bites and I threw it in the bin and then I never ate there again.
yeah.
It is so bad. I don't even know how it's a popular chain over here.
Because you get the meat
Yeah,
sweats.
we should just do like a Thomas meat loading session.
It's just going to be absolutely doubled over in pain the entire drive up to Vegas.
Welcome to your bachelor party, son.
Just on the pot shitting.
Just sleeping in the hotel room the entire time.
Oh, no, we'll give him some Mr. Pibb on the way up.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm going to get a growler of Mr. Pibb.
A
It's a
growler?
growler.
You don't know what a growler is?
I mean, I do, but in a different way.
Yeah. That's it. I think it's the way that I'm thinking.
What
of
is
it.
what is the thing that you're thinking?
Body
it-
part.
The old hoo-ha?
Yeah.
Oh no,
The hairy front bottom.
Yes, that's a very
the
nice way of
front
putting
front
it.
butt.
Thank you.
This is it's like a giant jug of beer, or you put liquid into it. Like
Basically, your body has such a hard time breaking down red meat that you then release heat.
Oh, one of
And
those.
it
Okay.
increases your body temperature.
yeah, the meat's
Why is that called a growler? Does it growl when you open it?
I don't know. I don't know, but I'm gonna find a place that has.
That one you've sent looks like it's a big bottle of syrup.
I'm gonna
really
find a
does.
place that has Mr. Pibb. Actually, the Rubio's down the street has it, so I'm gonna take 3-4 growlers. in there.
Rufio, like the guy from Hook.
Can you guys hear that helicopter?
No.
Jesus, sounds like machine gun going off.
I mean, it could be. Should we see what's in Mr. Pibb? Right.
Oh.
High fructose
Corn syrup.
high fructose. Oh god, caramel color.
Yeah.
Phosphoric acid, potassium sorbate,
X-Lax.
natural flavors,
It's in italics and quotes.
artificial flavors, caffeine, monosodium phosphate. Isn't that what makes you shit yourself?
I mean, the caffeine probably doesn't help.
Lactic
So,
acid.
so Pib is caffeinated because, like, I've been told it
yeah,
tastes
it
like
is.
Dr Pepper, but Dr Pepper isn't caffeinated.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it's not in the UK. I don't think it is.
Well, that another reason why we left you guys.
No, Dr. Pepper's caffeinated.
Is it?
Yeah, man, I'm sorry.
You sure?
Welcome back to the Factory Sealed Soda Podcast.
More fat checking for Matt
sure.
Tassel.
Where all we do is we look at the ingredients of your favorite foods and tell you you're gonna die.
Oh no, it's a thickening agent. Ugh. Okay.
Oh, isn't that like a description of the show?
Yeah, it does have. But Dr. Pepper Zero, I think, doesn't have caffeine, if I remember.
Hang on.
I actually really like Dr. Pepper Zero.
Yeah,
But it
it's all right.
contains-
I like the white label. It's delightful.
Yeah, it
to my
looks cool.
eyes.
It's hard to find. But it does contain that friggin' aspartame thing.
Kind of Dr.
Stuff.
Pepper. Here we go. Oh, right.
Cancer
well, okay,
powder.
39 milligrams of caffeine.
Thanks,
And
Mike.
a shot of espresso is 45. So yeah.
Oof.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
What can I say, guys?
Why are you telling me the recommended limit during pregnancy? I'm not pregnant.
You could be if you tried.
Are you saying I'm fat? How dare you? What is this? The insult podcast? Oh wait, we just like spent a lot of time shitting on Dan, didn't we?
So
Facts.
let's
Hardly
spin the
breaking the
wheel.
habit.
Right, random number generator 1 to 4. Who's being insulted today? Dun, 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 dun. Dan Curtis. Oh wait, he was on all 4 numbers.
Funny that Dan's not here anyway. Like of all days, well, of all shows, after what was revealed this week.
Oh god, yeah, he was
Oh,
really
God.
not happy about that. Not being here, but
Well,
like
the fact that they've cancelled Final Fantasy VII Remake.
No, the fact that trailer, he was not pleased. Like the first 2 minutes and the first 2 solid minutes, he's like, too much faff.
Yeah, well, Dan, nobody's listening to you.
He was really pissed off at how many kids they were showing. I mean, for God's sakes, they're just trying to build some life into this city. Should we talk about that? Because that's a pretty big thing.
Yeah. Oh, it looks
Okay.
so good. Have you watched it,
Guys,
Tom?
I only watched it for the first time last night. And I was like, cool, I was ready to jack it anyway.
I mean, Kat's not home, so it was already on the
No.
docket.
I'm home alone until Tuesday. What else are you going to do?
Watch
Is that the extended cut of Home Alone?
The extended cut.
Took you a moment that time, didn't it?
Oh, God. Oh, God. Sometimes I'm not ready for you, Mike. Sometimes I'm not ready
Yeah,
for
I'm
you.
sorry.
Nobody's ready for Mike. So yeah, they
Gorgeous.
released the
Gorgeous.
I was
Details.
really on the fence about whether or not I wanted to actually watch this. So we're talking about the initial introduction of Final Fantasy VII. They released the full opening FMV. So it's 5 minutes long, and it is just gorgeous. I don't really even know what else to say other than it's just gorgeous.
Yeah, it's like that first shot where they sweep down as the kids riding their bicycles through I don't know which sector it is, probably some sort of slum.
And then the most important part, about 31 seconds in, where my heart will go on. Celine Dion is coming in.
Well, it kind of has that opening feel to Crisis Core. Or not Crisis Core, Advent Children, where you see Red 13 running through the desert and just kind of gives a little bit more of a apocalyptic sense to the surrounding area and how much Midgar is draining the planet of life. But I think what they've really done in this opening section and the first 2 minutes is flesh out Midgar. Because if you think about Midgar in its sense from the original game, it doesn't really feel that big when you look at it, because you can pound through each of the sectors really quick. But they pan over the top and you see skyscrapers and you see cities with freeways and factories and kids riding bikes around. So it does actually feel like a full city this time.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Like, it really, really gives you scope of. So obviously, when the plate of one sector falls, and I know that like on the original, you do get that kind of view of like from the top of the plate where like they feel the earth dropping beneath them, and like you kind of get a bit of a scope of it then. But if this, you think about the size, you think about the size and scope that they've got. Of this, and then you'd separate that into, is it 8 sectors, isn't it? You separate that into 8, that's still a huge piece of landmass with buildings and things like that. So you think of the scope of when the plate actually falls, of how many people that actually kills, not just the people in the slums, but on top.
Yeah. So question for you, if you go to like minute 119, and then shortly after you see the kids on the playground, that's that iconic playground that you come across in one of the slums. It looks like it's not in the slums here, but it's up on top of on the plate. And isn't that playground in the section of the city that gets crushed?
No, because if you remember, it's definitely underneath the plate, but it's part of Sector 6, I believe. Because if you remember, they're in that playground after the plate falls, and they're like in the opening.
Huh. That could just be a duplicate playground, but I thought it was neat that they incorporated that because that's kind of an iconic slide.
Do you think they'll put a cameo of like Homer Simpson in there working at Sector 7G?
I don't think they're going for comedy on this one, Tom.
Well, why not? There's plenty of comedy in Final Fantasy VII.
It's Homer Simpson, sir.
Causing a plate collapse on Sector 7G.
Jesus.
Oh, God. Oh, Thomas, you kill me.
Sorry, Eric.
Have me completely in pieces. But anyway, yes, no, it is very, very expansive. But one of the things I liked, like towards the end of it, it has the section where they take out the 2 Shinra soldiers outside the train.
Yeah.
And obviously in the original, that's your very first battle. But on this, like, it's part of the cutscene, and you see them like just take them out really stealthily and sneakily, like Biggs, Wedge, and Jesse.
They seem like they're going to play a lot bigger role in this game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fingers crossed.
They were definitely just throwaway characters in the beginning, or in the original.
Well, they almost kind of teased Jessie as a love interest at first. I mean, she definitely had feelings for Cloud.
But don't they not really build on them because obviously they die so early?
Spoilers?
I'm sorry.
We've done it on the show before. It's free reign.
Yeah.
Maybe they
because
don't
that's
die.
probably why they didn't really put a ton of effort into them. So it's interesting that they're putting, real personalities into these 3 characters now. And I wonder if they really extend it out. They really draw out that beginning section or what. I don't know.
God, I hope so.
Yeah.
I really hope they kept the minigame where you have to slap your hands down on the console at the same time together.
Yeah, right.
Have you ever seen the meme of that where someone's like done? I say meme. It's like a little comic thing of like them trying to do it, and the different Barrett are there, just like, okay, you ready? And then Cloud does his like 5 seconds after. And they're like, God damn it, Cloud!
I hated that part.
Yeah, it took me a while sometimes.
You know what? I can never ever get it first time. Every time I played that game.
Yeah, me neither.
So last night I showed this to Christy, and we put it up on the TV and just cranked the volume in my living room. And tell you what,
I need to watch it on a TV properly. Yeah.
when they do the pan out and they start zooming out and over the top of Midgar, over the Dark City, and then boom, that comet slams in and you hit the title screen. It's just, that's when it hit home. Like, they might actually pull this off. This is gonna be good.
Although we got some extra details this week, and one of the things that I'm a little concerned about, it seems like all Final Fantasy games of recent years, all of the side quests just seem to involve some kind of monster hunting or battling, and from something that came out on the PlayStation blog this week, it seems that might be the case again.
Well, if they do it similar to the monster hunting quests on Final Fantasy 12, I guess I'm okay with that.
Which I have not played. So
Oh, God.
I'm coming.
Me neither.
Oh, God. Guys, that is a black hole. It
I
is
was going to
just
start that.
a
I was going to start it.
deep, dark hole.
Here's that comic, by the way.
I got it on the Switch, the Zodiac Age.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah, so did
apparently-
I. I've not played it yet.
Apparently it's changed so much compared to the original PS2 version.
I wouldn't say it's changed a lot. It's just a lot more accessible.
As in, they've added, like, you can have up to 2 classes now. You
Yes.
can have and stuff like that. That's a pretty significant change.
Well, it has like 3 times speed as well, so it's easier to run between the different sections.
Yeah, it's so tedious to actually traverse a lot of land. But
Yeah, if it didn't have options like that, I would have just given up.
See, I'm a little tempted. I don't know whether to or not. I mean, the 3 times speed is going to make it really appealing, but I've just finished Luigi's Mansion 3, so I'm in between Switch games at the moment, and I'm tempted to replay the original FF7 before it comes out.
don't do it.
Before the new one comes out.
do it.
He's gonna do it.
Well, considering how quickly I flew through most of FF8 using the 3 times speed, I can't see why not.
Mike, play FF7 and leave out all the rest. Just focus on 7.
Yeah, I could do. Like, I'm tempted to replay The Last of Us as well before that comes out.
Do you guys realize that if they wouldn't have delayed Final Fantasy VII, we would have been 2 weeks away from it?
Oh, don't say things like that.
We would have
why
been
would
2
you guys-
weeks away.
I think they're gonna.
Or no, was it originally March 10th?
Yeah, I think so. I
Oh,
think
okay.
they're gonna. I reckon they're gonna release the demo on March 10th.
You think?
Yeah, the original release date. That's what I think.
I don't think they're going to do a demo. I don't
Didn't
think
they
No,
they
the
say
demo
they would do it,
exists.
demo?
People managed to find the demo, and they've already hacked it and stuff.
Oh,
the demo
yes.
exists.
How
On
have they
Christmas
found it
Day.
and hacked it? Like, where have they gotten it from?
They somehow managed
On
to
the
get it from the
store.
back end of PSN or something.
Yeah.
I don't know the full details, but the demo exists. There's footage of the demo that people have managed to get on the internet.
Interesting.
Did you not know this? This happened
didn't.
weeks ago.
It was on Christmas. Like, it was like Christmas Eve, I think. I remember reading about it. So,
I don't know. Do you feel like you'd actually play it?
no.
I would
No way.
not be able to not play it.
Oh, God.
I think
no.
I need to know how it feels, like, because that's going to be the deal breaker. Like, they can.
No, you don't.
they
You're
can-
gonna buy it anyway.
Right. Okay. Right.
You don't need to
can
know shit.
They can make the graphics as good as they want. The story, they can change the story as much as they want and make it better, whatever. But if in the end it feels like shit to play, I'm going to be really disappointed if I pay. I think I got it pre-ordered for about £40.
You know that there is no
Right,
universe.
no, come on, right. If I pay, if that gets delivered, I get home and start playing it, and it plays like shit, I am going to be so fucking disappointed.
There is no universe in which this game doesn't play well. Could you imagine if they put years into this game and just didn't polish the actual control aspect of it?
I don't know. Yeah, but what if I don't like the battle system?
Well, you played 15. I guarantee it's going to be identical to 15.
Yeah.
I hope not, because I don't really understand. I just finished Final Fantasy 15 and I still don't understand the battle system.
Well, then you might not like it.
I don't.
Like,
I don't.
Hazel asked me because I finished it, and then like I came upstairs. She went to bed, but she was like awake on her iPad, and I was like, "I've just finished Final Fantasy 15. Oh, how did you feel?" To be honest, I don't think I ever understood any of it. The story, the battle system. I mean, it looked nice.
I spent 40 hours. No idea what I did.
I did. Well, I think I finished the main campaign in like 40. I think it was like 48 hours, and then add on an extra like an hour and a half each for the 4 DLC episodes.
Jesus.
Like I got a good 50, 60 hours in.
I've been tempted to drop that back in again, but I just don't think I have the energy for it.
Oh man, I don't think I can play the demo because I just want to experience it for the first time, the whole game.
I almost didn't want to watch this opening trailer, but I knew that I had to.
Have you ever? I don't remember the last time there's been so many goddamn trailers for a game before it's come out. So many teasers.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's a lot.
You know what else is insane? The number of trailers before the Sonic movie. Holy shit.
Oh, how long did that go on for?
At least 40 minutes.
Jesus.
It was obscene.
When was it a combination of like just normal TV ads and trailers, or just trailers?
Actual trailers.
See, because I don't mind a lot of trailers before
my God,
the
I
film.
can't stand
But
it.
what
Oh, I
annoys
can't
me is like
stand
the
it.
standard adverts. You know, like before the trailers, there's like 8 or 9 like a fucking car advert or a chocolate bar advert or like a phone company advert. They're the ones that you'd basically get at home. That's the bit that annoys me.
No, so probably about 20 minutes, 30 minutes into all of the goddamn trailers, one comes on that, you know, they always do that obligatory, hey, don't be a douche, turn your phone off and don't talk and all of that. And it's Shaggy and Scooby doing that. I'm like, oh, all right, this is cool. And they make a comment like, wouldn't it be cool if we had a new movie? And I went, yeah. And then it went into the trailer of the new movie. And then like 6 more trailers after that. It just was way, way, way too long.
I'm okay
Maybe
with
because
some movie trailers. No, I was just going to say, I'm okay with some movie trailers. But yeah, the adverts kind of suck because you've just paid for the ticket.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you just paid like good $15 or whatever. So to get plugged with ads for half an hour feels pretty intrusive. You can't exactly.
I think they've started putting them because they front loaded the normal ads, but I think sometimes they've started putting them in between the trailers sometimes.
Criminal.
Criminal is. But maybe because it's a kid. What time did you see it at, Eric? Was it like daytime?
3:30.
Yeah, see, maybe with it being like a family film and that's when the kids are going to go see it, they front load it with all of the trailers that the kids are going to go, Mommy, I want to see that.
True.
Kids.
I don't know. I don't mind trailers if I'm going to like an adult film because I know I'm going to see some sweet ass trailers, but I don't need to see a trailer for every kids movie coming out in the next 2 years.
I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, dude, Sonic is such a good movie. I don't mean to switch gears here from Final Fantasy VII, but I gotta say,
No.
Sonic is an absolutely fantastic movie. I was super nervous that they just... I was afraid it was going to fall flat based on everything that happened last year with the character change and just how are they going to translate this universe onto film. But damn it, they pulled it off, and it is wonderful. I got to the end of it and just went, I would probably pay to see that again. And I don't go to movies twice in the theater.
Wow.
What you should have done is just walked into the next screening of it and hope there were some empty seats.
Oh, hell yeah. Well,
Go on, Ellie. This is called theft.
we're already in here. They're not going to notice. But no, it's really neat what they did. And I mentioned a little bit of this on Facebook. And I think the most recent movie to compare
Eric,
this to...
just to be clear, can you please no spoilers because I do want to see it.
No, I'm not going to give you any spoilers.
Yeah, cool, cool, awesome.
I think the closest movie to compare this to is Pokemon. And Pokemon did a great job of fan service. There was a ton of...
Which Pokemon film? Because isn't there like 30
Detective
million?
Pikachu?
Yeah, Detective Pikachu.
Okay.
So there's a ton of fan service in there. In the Pokemon universe is just sprawling. Within that movie, you have a ton of visual Easter eggs and story references, and it basically just took that universe and converted it to screen. The Sonic movie does not really rely on your knowledge of Sonic as a character or his universe, or even Dr. Robotnik for what that's worth. They've just really zeroed in on a new version of Sonic's personality. And if you look at Sonic in the cartoons and even in previous games, he kind of borders on being a douche. He's just kind of this arrogant, cocky little guy. And he's definitely not that in this film. He's more of your just excitable teenager who's just longing to fit in, and he just wants to make a friend.
So his personality is like much more than just gotta go fast, chili dogs.
Oh yeah, he's actually got an extremely likable personality,
And you don't like anyone.
I love everyone, except people who bring their fucking infants to movie theaters. It happened again.
How young are we talking here?
Newborns.
Oh,
or
I was going to say,
or 2-year-olds, young children, young children like that have no place being there. That are just going to sit and make a bunch of fucking noise.
Like, honestly, you need to come to a UK cinema, man. Like,
I think if I
people
ran
are afraid to breathe.
if I ran a movie theater,
noise.
I would have a stipulation that if you're going to bring a baby into the theater, sure, but you need to pay for everybody else's ticket in that showing because you are ruining their experience. Just because you can't get a babysitter doesn't give you the right to just say, all right, well, I'm going to bring my baby with and ruin everybody else's afternoon because they took the time to get a sitter or whatever. Oh, it pisses me off to absolutely no end. And this kid just sat in front and talked and squawked and screamed, and the parents didn't do shit about it. Oh, that pisses me off. They are just a shade below people who chew with their mouth open. And people who open their video games.
You just had to slide that one in there, didn't you?
Yeah. But I forgot where I was going with that.
Go on, Eric, bleed it out. What else have you got?
I was making a point
before.
You? Oh, God, don't get me started. Don't get me started. But no, I think it's definitely a film that's worth going to see. I know that people in our community have been they've been posting their thoughts, and the general consensus is I went in not expecting much and came out being really pleasantly surprised.
Nice. Oh, that's good. So this could be the rise of video game movies then.
Well, I think it's
actually
it's
Ratchet
kind of
and
been on
Clank
the
was
rise.
good, wasn't it?
What's that?
Ratchet and Clank was pretty good, wasn't
Ratchet
it?
and Clank was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that
Well, you
film.
say rise of video game movies. I was reading something yesterday. Apparently, Sonic is on because Detective Pikachu was the fastest selling video game movie of all time, and it looks like Sonic might be beating it.
Oh shit!
And do you know what? Like, I think some of the negative criticism of his original design and then it being changed has actually helped this movie a lot.
So I don't know if it was Dan that made that prediction or who, but
I think it was you actually.
That it was intentional.
Yeah, you had a bit of a sort of tinfoil hat moment where
Maybe it
thought
was me. I don't know.
that maybe they deliberately did it.
Good Lord, if they actually deliberately did that and pulled that off, brilliant. I mean, you can't purchase that type of publicity that garnered. But you have to admit though that did kind of rocket the movie into a lot of people's perspective.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I definitely put it on the map.
Well, I think some people, I mean, this is a negative way to look at it, but unfortunately, this is how some people think. I think they've gone, oh, it's going to be a pile of shit. I bet they haven't fixed the rest of it. Let's go and see it to see how bad it is.
Yeah.
No, it's
like
wonderful.
Hands held high. Like, I thought it was probably going to be shit, but like, it seems that everything coming out of it is good.
There were quite a few moments in there where I was genuinely laughing out loud. It is a funny movie. If you just go into it not expecting to see a bunch of Sonic Universe references, most of the references to the game or the universe that exist are in audio cue form. There's a really neat variation on one of the theme songs or one of the world songs at the very tail end of the movie where if you don't know the game, you're gonna be like, oh, that's a neat song. But after about 4 or 5 measures, like, oh, that's from the game. Because it was so different, but it was a subtle little nod to it. And
The thing is, right, not to like try and turn this into a film podcast, but what I've done recently when it comes to films, I'm kind of sick of films being overanalyzed, and sometimes I think you just need to sit down and enjoy a film for what it's worth. You know, whether it's an hour and a half or an hour and a half or 2 hours or whatever, and just sit down and just watch a good flick. I mean, I really enjoy, at the risk of fucking people with flaming torches being outside my house, I really fucking enjoyed the latest Star Wars. I loved it. I thought it was great. I'm a big Star Wars fan, but everything that was critical about it online was overanalyzing this and overanalyzing that. And I'll be honest, I used to be kind of the same. I used to do the same thing. But you know what? I went in and I watched the latest Star Wars, and I went in with the opinion, I'm just going to go in, I'm just going to enjoy it for what it is. Sat there, big old tub of popcorn, big old massive drink, sat there and just enjoyed a film with my wife and my friends. And you know what? I came out of it enjoying it so much more. Sure, it had its issues, but I wasn't sat there nitpicking at all all the issues.
Yeah, that's the approach that I take.
And I think you need to have that with films sometimes. It is a form of entertainment, and and this relates back to games as well. It is a form of entertainment, and yeah, you want your characters to be treated a certain way, but sometimes I think you just have to enjoy it for what it is.
Well, I think we're kind of at a point now where people just look for shit to be pissed off about.
Oh yeah, and people are validated because everyone's got a medium to voice their opinions with the internet. That's the thing.
Yeah, they think that because I can say this online, it's valid.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that breaches onto other subjects as well. People like, giving people shit online and stuff like that. They think just because they can say it online behind it, almost anonymously, even though they've got a profile picture of themselves, almost anonymously, they can just say whatever shit they want. And they think because they're entitled to that, people are listening,
But that's how we are with the show.
I suppose that's true.
Listen to us talk about games.
I like to think that we analyze them quite well.
I think we do. I think we're fair most of the time.
But no, I do want to go see it. I mean, we've got Hazel's nephew over for the next few days.
Oh, it's a great kids movie.
Yeah,
It's
I mean, he's
so
not
good.
really massive into Sonic. He's gotten into more and more into video games this past year or so because he got a Switch last year.
I don't think you really even need to be into Sonic. I think just removing the aspect this is based on a game that has a storied history, it's just a great movie.
Eric, did you go and see it on Valentine's Day?
Yeah, I took my daughter. We've been looking forward to it for months.
Awesome.
And
What's Jim Carrey like in it?
he actually doesn't steal the show.
Oh, wow, because I really thought he would.
No, actually, Sonic and James Marsden play off of each other so well.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's an interesting take on Robotnik. And there's a definite subtle dig at Nintendo throughout the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I won't say what it is, but there's a definite subtle dig that I didn't even notice it until somebody from our community messaged me and was like, hey, do you think that was a dig at Nintendo? I'm like, oh, now that I think about it, 100%.
Something to do with a plumber, I guess. I don't know.
A bowl of spaghetti. But yeah, I took her on the anniversary of Snipmas.
Oh.
Snipmas time. I can't remember the next line. Shit. How are the old bulls, Eric?
Well, they're still shooting blanks. At least I think so.
Old juice, no seed.
I should probably go get a test done to make sure that it still works.
Do you have to do that? Continue to get tested?
If you want to make sure that it hasn't accidentally regrown back together. I mean, if you do the test like 3 months afterwards and it comes back clear, it's like 99% that it's not going to grow back together, but they recommend doing a test every year just to make sure.
Plus, it's always nice to have an excuse to wank into a pot.
And then drive to the doctor with it and hand it to the pretty lady at the desk. Test this for me.
Oh, God.
That is the single most embarrassing thing I've ever had to do.
Well, hand over a tub of semen.
Yep.
Oh,
Because
no, like,
there's that eye contact, and she's like, I know what you did. I had to.
I've had
the
to hand in
doctor
like urine
told me.
samples and stuff before, but suppose you're right, yeah.
I reckon shit is worse.
Oh,
Just
I
hand it over in a
reckon that's
brown
worse.
paper bag.
Yeah. I reckon that would be worse.
if you ever had to give a stool sample to to the doctors, type in at right in factorysealedmantank.com. Tell us about your experience. And tweet a picture of it to at Honest Pizza.
Oh, you know what we forgot to talk about with Final Fantasy VII?
Go on.
The absolute nightmare that is Carbuncle.
Oh, Jesus.
And the little dude as well, the little chocobo.
Chocobo.
Yeah,
Well,
that is some
Right,
terrifying
I'll
shit.
let you take this because you're the one that was the most.
I just
Terrified
remembered.
by it. It was awful. This is awful. So the PlayStation blog came out with a load of images and stuff like that, and they came out with some character art and actual things from the game. It's just the characters against a black background. But Jesus. So the Carbuncle is a little bit... It looks a little bit based on that cute little Carbuncle that was from Final Fantasy 15, from the demo that they did. Yeah. But for some reason, it's got a 5 head.
It might even be a 6 head.
It might be, but it's like a little furry kind of wolf kind of thing. Would be kind of cute, kind of sweet, little bit cat-like in a way. Me, I like a cat. What can I say? But it's just its head. It's just so much head.
Well, did you see? Look at the chocobo.
It's got more head than X-Hamster.
Can't go a show without an X-Hamster reference.
Just Jesus Christ. It's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying.
Well, in the mini chocobo, they gave basically Cloud's hair to.
Yeah, and it looks like you've just called its mum a slag. The way it's looking at you. It's just a...
I still can't believe that Dan used to call Red 13 Red XIII.
No.
I was listening to the last show where he said that.
Well, I'll forgive him.
I don't know whether to believe him or not. Because he did used to say Sephiroth. So...
Well, wasn't
Damn
Carbuncle initially like a little bunny?
In Final Fantasy VIII, it's like a weird kind of... I suppose it is kind of bunny-like in a way.
Yeah.
But that was the first Final Fantasy I saw, and I'm sure Carbuncle has been in some older ones.
Man, could you imagine if they'd gone with that original Sonic design? It really wouldn't have been... it just would have been a tragedy.
I was
For
thinking,
context, Eric's just shared us an image with the Final Fantasy VII things with Sonic.
Sorry, yeah, I just saw an old picture of Sonic just came up on my screen.
I was thinking about that the whole way through, just thinking about the effort that it took to swap all this shit out and how horrid it would have been in the other version.
Yeah, especially those teeth. The teeth.
Yes, the little human teeth.
You can see that little picture that Eric's just shared. You can just see them peeking through.
Just little nubbins.
Like little nightmares just sat there waiting to get you.
Yeah.
No.
Just in the morning when you wake, there it is.
Just
Peeking right at you.
Just the tip of the teeth.
Stop it. Stop.
I mean, everybody likes a little bit of tooth from time to time.
I mean, just maximum tooth anytime you kiss. That's what the women like.
Yeah, just nibble on it.
Got teeth.
Treat it like a corn on the cob.
Oh, that's awful. Awful, awful, awful.
God.
Eric,
Yeah.
change of topic. You were messaging me last night, and I've been wanting to ask you in person.
Uh-oh.
How's dreams?
Oh, boy, let me tell you about Dreams. I had no idea this game
Did you find
even...
that single player yet?
I did. I had no idea this game even came out because it came out to absolutely no fanfare whatsoever. For a game that has been...
It's already been out, that's why.
Well, sort of.
I've had it for a year now,
The early release of it.
which is
Plus, Eric, if you actually keep up with
Basically the
gaming
same.
news, it actually has had quite a bit of fanfare.
No,
People have
nope,
been
it
waiting
hasn't. Not where I've been.
to the cinema and back.
well, in Phoenix.
I had to go see So Nice. And my review of that movie, it is so nice. But Dreams, yes. man, it's overwhelming. Whew. If you thought Little Big Planet was a lot to wrap your head around, this game is infinitely more. To Mike's point, the single player, or the campaign, I guess if you want to call it, is not just an option on the main menu. You have two options. You have dream surfing and dream shaping. And dream surfing is where you just go into the online community and you just start playing through shit that people have made. And the very first thing I ever did in this game was play somebody's world or game called Where's Dad's Toilet? And you played this little guy that ran around navigating piles of shit trying to jump into a toilet, and just level after level of trying to find Dad's toilet. But the other aspect of that is dream shaping, where you go in and they teach you how to play the game, and the tutorials are little missions that kind of hold your hand through how to actually make stuff. Very similar to what they did in Little Big Planet. But then Mike told me there's an actual campaign that shows off.
And you wouldn't believe me for about 20 minutes.
Well, I wouldn't, because there was no option for story or main campaign. And you go into Dream Surfing, and it's at the very top. It's just called Art's Dream. And it is a story that the people at Media Molecule have made to show off the power and the tools and what's capable of being made within dreams. Apparently, this entire experience was made using nothing but the Dreams tools. I don't believe that it was made using the DualShock 4, but I believe it was made using the tools within Dreams.
Yeah. I do, only because of the complexity of all the other dreams that you can jump into. Like, even Media Molecule's campaign, like Art's Dream and stuff, even that is technically not as impressive as some of the other dreams out there, which definitely were made with DualShocks because they're made by regular users.
I don't know. That is my one gripe, and I don't even really want to call it a gripe. It's just the controls are not intuitive yet.
I spent a long time on dreams trying to craft something, and like trying to navigate 3D space with a DualShock 4 is so difficult.
Well, they give
and the controls never get easier. So you have this imp that's kind of floating around with a pointer. It's effectively your cursor. And I was placing blocks down, and if you hold R2 to grab the block, you can then use motion control on the DualShock to raise and lower a platform and make that block taller or shorter. Now, if you're trying to create steps, like you're trying to create a platforming experience where each step is gradually larger than the other, or perhaps they're slightly further apart as you get to the top to introduce more challenge, you're raising and lowering them, but then every time you're placing a block, you have to rotate the camera to make sure that block is in line with the previous block that you've just put. Now, there are tools that can, place multiple blocks at once and try and like create some sort of formula so that they are equidistant apart from each other. But if you're trying to have something that's less formulaic and less like systematic, you want to have some difference in there and some creativity. You have to be able to rotate the camera and try and line things up, and trying to line things up with the motion control DualShock, with the intricacies of that and how sensitive it is really challenging, and something I could never actually get over. I spent hours and hours and hours in this game trying to just place blocks down. I was like, wow, if I was on a PC right now, this would be done in 10 minutes.
Exactly. And that is the biggest complaint about it right now, is that it's not easy to put it like, I want that right there. Mm-hmm. And if you want to, like, just getting two blocks to nudge up against each other, because there's no collision, when you're moving a block, it can just float through everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the motion controls...
sounds like they don't stay together.
The motion controls are great, but they're so sensitive that if you just even if your hand is shaking, it's going to move that block around. And they give you the option to utilize the joysticks to move everything around, but the game is designed to be played with motion controls. I could never really grasp what do I need to do to get this block to slide towards me while I'm rotating the camera around and bring it up. I could not figure that out. Everything happened by accident.
You know, Dan is listening to this right now going, "Oh, Eric doesn't understand the control."
No, they force you to go through the goddamn tutorial before they even give you the ability to do that.
They do, and like it's like you have to. If you hold on to options, you can bring the imp back to the middle of the screen.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the way you're moving the controller around, you're basically just doing like a figure eight all over around it.
Yeah, but it's like, just because you can hit R2 and then L1 to strafe your camera, but what does that do to the block as you move that around? It's just, it's really cumbersome. It's not bad. It's incredibly complex. I remember playing Little Big Planet 2 when they introduced the concept of circuits and just losing dozens and dozens of hours trying to program a 2D space to function like a 3D game. And now that it's a full-on 3D space, dude, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's so neat. There's so much you can do. And just playing through Art's Dream, they show you different art styles and graphic styles that you can accomplish within the game. And it's just incredible what you can pull off in there.
Yeah.
Hasn't somebody recreated PT?
Yep. And it's really impressive. It's just like, Jesus, how? And in dream shaping, there's so many tutorials. You can spend a lot of time in tutorials. It's quite a rabbit hole, to be honest. But as well as like building your level with all the general block tools and adding triggers and things like that, so that when you stand on a certain platform, something else moves or animates. There's also a whole section for like creating music, and it's like opening friggin' Logic or GarageBand. Like
I heard about this.
Yeah, it's like you got 4 tracks, a whole wealth of presets and instruments that you can just add in, change the BPM. I think there's even like a virtual keyboard, so you can like, make your own like bars and stuff. Dude, it's overwhelming. It's something you can effectively go in there and become really good at making music in the game. Put that out there into the Dreams community, and then people who are making their own little games can take your tracks, and then you automatically get credited in their games as doing the music, which I think is a really nice idea.
This is what I heard was one of the things of this, because you think of like Little Big Planet, okay, you make a level, you share a level and things like that. But the thing that I heard that was great about Dreams was, if you're not great at creating levels, but you think you're a pretty good voice actor or something like that.
Yes.
You can put out like just some random samples of your voice and stuff, and then people can get in touch with you, and you can create voice acting stuff for them, and then they can use you for that. Yeah, and or like you said with the music, or if you just happen to be really fucking good at designing trees and someone needs a good tree,
Yes, totally. Like I was making there's like a modeling section where you can just use cubes and spheres and just geometric shapes, and then stretch them, skew them, scale them, and you can make like furniture. So I was just like making like tables and then painting them and stuff like that. And so somebody jumps into the asset library and they want a table or a couch for their game, and they can effectively grab yours, and then you're credited, which is just that's kind of cool that you can really hone in on a one particular thing. If you think, do you know what, it's too overwhelming for me to build an entire game, but I just want to sit here and craft something. Could be anything.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I bought it, is I wanted to recapture that creativity that I had with Little Big Planet 1 and 2. I never made anything worthwhile in there. It was just, I need something that's not a game that requires a lot of attention. I just want to go in there and fuck around, make something stupid, have fun, and kind of just get this creative cathartic release. And I don't necessarily need a final finished product at the end. I just want to go in and have fun. But I've barely even scratched the surface of this thing, because I've been looking through what other people have done and some of the tools and assets that they have access to. I'm like, I'm not that far in. So the game does drip feed you things before you can actually start just using it. You have to go through some of the different campaigns, or you have to go through Art's campaign to unlock certain things. You have to go through the tutorials to unlock certain tools and functions. But
have you seen
really
that
cool.
Sometimes you can jump into people's dreams and it's not even a game, it's just a really incredibly well rendered image, like a 3D model of, like I jumped into one yesterday. It was just burger restaurant, and they just had a really nice render of a hot dog, fries, and a soda, and like the diner chairs and the table and everything. Everything's like super glossy. And
So that's my question for you, and maybe since you have a little bit more experience with this, is how do you upload those assets?
what, as in like how do like all the objects that have been made in the game?
You craft them in the game?
Yeah, you have to craft them in your Dreamscape, but then you can export them effectively to an asset store.
So what is it? How do you craft them? Did you just use the different objects, and did they give you like a wireframe that you can?
Yeah, no, it really is. It's so you craft them with the geometric shapes. Everything starts from a cube or a sphere, basically.
Jesus.
And then you can also use texturing, shaders. You could paint with various different colors and whatever. Like that. It is effectively an engine. It's actually amazing. No wonder it took them so long to do. They've basically made a whole game engine.
Well, they announced it like when the PS4 announced, didn't they? That's how long this has been.
Yeah, it's cool. I
tried
really
using
wish-
it with the Move controllers, and I just couldn't get anything to function. I just physically couldn't get anything done because it pulls up 2 imps on the screen. Well, this is cool. How do I move?
I just wish there was some way that you could use a mouse and keyboard, or if they could just have it, like, I don't know, some kind of way of doing this on PC. Like, I know that's not the point. I know this completely defeats the object, but yeah.
I'm enjoying it. I am really enjoying it. It's something that I don't plan on spending a ton of time with, but it's just one of those neat games to pick up. Be like, yep, this is cool. I just need something light.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you're liking it. It's good to just dabble into. At least there's plenty of game there as well. If you don't want to craft anything, you still got that classic Media Molecule platforming, which is what they're so well known
I love
for.
that about Little Big Planet, was just hopping into the universe or the online and just playing other people's stuff.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little bit like Mario Maker. I haven't dabbled in the second one, but the first one, I never created a single level. I just literally played other people's stuff. The leech that I am.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Fucking parasite on the Mario Maker infrastructure.
I just take.
Socialism at its finest.
Oh, dear.
No, Eric, do not be getting into politics.
Had to get a subtle one in there.
Yeah.
You got really quiet again, Mike.
Oh, sorry. Is that better?
Yeah.
I accidentally moved away from my mic. Sorry.
Oh.
I need to get like one that attaches to my desk because I have to actually turn to my mic because of how it's set up here. So, and sometimes I forget.
Anybody else been playing anything?
Idiot.
I've been in kind of a gaming slump recently. Just haven't really wanted to play anything.
It's so funny you say that, because I feel exactly the same. I've not really been playing much at all. I guess I'm just waiting for some of the bigger releases this year because, yeah, I mean, the only thing I've been dumping a decent number of hours into is the old Dark Souls.
Old Dark Souls.
The old Dark Souls remastered on the.
I'm so glad you finally joined the pantheon of Dark Souls.
Yeah, that game is fantastic. That game is fan-fucking-tastic.
Oh.
I totally understand it now why this series is so big. I mean, I understood it pretty much with Bloodborne, but these specific demons and 3 Dark Souls games, I get it, man. I get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was so fresh.
I always feel
so
like my
clean.
head is only above water. I'm never excelling, but I'm not always failing.
You
So
are
it's like,
surviving.
you are surviving. It's all just survival.
Yep.
Which can be really horrible sometimes when you're just like, I had to try and start another game at the same time to run concurrently, because sometimes you just want to sit down and be rewarded all the time because you just want to have a good experience.
Oh yeah, just trying to play nothing but Dark Souls is overwhelming.
It is, because I've played like a 2-hour session of Dark Souls and not been rewarded once.
Yep.
Like, as in not defeated a boss, not really excelled.
You're still
not
at the
leveled
same
up.
damn bonfire.
Yeah, that's what's crazy, right? You spend 4 hours and then you start at the same bonfire.
Hey, you should play
all right.
Sekiro. It's a fucking blast.
Okay, let's do another run. And I do kind of love it when you get to a point where, okay, I'm a little bit further in this run. I've not used many of my flasks. HP's in good order. Weapons are all, everything's fine. I'm happy. And then like and Catherine was asking me if I can do something. And I'm like, you can't pause this game. I've told you like 20 times, you cannot pause Dark Souls. It doesn't, you can't, it doesn't let you. So I can't do anything. I'm sorry. So, I don't know. It's just, and every time you discover a new area, you're like, here we go again.
Yeah. It's like starting all over. I gotta just
it really is.
You just creep around every corner. You're like, what's that?
Yeah, what? I gotta go and see what that is. I think whenever I talk about it, I never sell anybody on it who's never played it. But I think it's something you just have to experience yourself.
Well, that was my struggle with Demon Souls initially before Dark Souls came out. I was like, hey guys, you should play this game. It's really fucking hard. Nah, pass.
Hard and fair, though. Hard and fair.
Ah, yes.
Although I heard that was what Dark Souls 2 struggled with, but apparently it's sometimes pretty unfair in places.
It's just too much of the same thing. It's like, hey, this is what we did in Dark Souls 1 that was really good. Let's just do 10 times more of that and not innovate.
Yeah.
It's the only Souls game that I haven't finished aside from Sekiro.
And I beat my first Souls boss
Ooh.
in that required only one. I beat them first time. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
I've never beaten a Souls boss first time, but I beat Moonlight Butterfly.
Yeah. That one can either be super easy or an absolute bitch. I had one playthrough where it took me probably 15 tries.
Wild. Absolutely wild. And then Dan said he's never beaten Moonlight Butterfly without summoning someone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, I can't believe it. Like, I consider Dan
That's how
to be
I was with
more...
Quelaag. I've never beaten Quelaag by myself.
Oh, yes.
Never.
No, that's fair. And I consider Dan to be like far more competent at a lot of these games than me, so I couldn't believe that he had to summon someone. But I think it's just luck of the draw and a bit of that RNGesus coming into play.
Good old RNGesus.
So I was dividing that strangely between that and The Witcher 3. This is my second time trying Witcher 3, and I've stopped again. I don't know, guys. I don't know if I can get into it. I kind of just, there's something about it I just don't get
Doesn't
on with.
jive.
I don't like the movement. I don't like how Geralt moves. It's very robotic and wooden. And when you come off the back of Dark Souls, which is very weighty and purposeful with its traction, Witcher just feels floaty and wild, just a bit crazy. I just don't know I can't get my bearings right. It might be because I'm playing both at the same time, but
yeah.
I won't completely put it down. I'll give it another go because I do like the storytelling.
Are you playing it on PS4?
I am. Yeah, a Game of the Year edition was like £10, which was amazing. I wanted to play it on Switch, but the price just wouldn't come down from $90.
Yeah, the cheapest I've seen the Switch version here is $34.99, and that's only when it's on sale because it's on sale at the moment for that.
Oh, is it on sale at the moment? Nice.
Yeah. There's a eShop sale in Europe at the moment. It's not huge, but there's a few bits on there. But I've been tempted by The Witcher. I mean, you were the first person I've heard to say not bad things, but not amazingly positive things. But it's on Game Pass, and I keep meaning to boot it up, see how it feels, and then probably end up buying it for Switch. But I don't know.
I would say that I've started it and put it down several times, but that wouldn't lend any credibility to Tom's argument.
I know I'm in the minority, and it is fantastic. Like the storytelling is really cool. I actually got inspired to play it again through there's a chapter about it in Blood, Sweat and Pixels.
Yes.
About the development behind it and how much writing and effort went into the side quests. Like they're actually, when they were doing playtesting for the game, they would play every side quest and think, okay, is this actually interesting, or is it the usual, oh, I need 6 skulls and 4 leather fucking kilts or whatever. Can you get them for me, and like typical fetch quest stuff. Is this interesting? Does it make you
Was
wanna play
there
the
a
game?
was that you mentioning that book sparked my memory about something, and I wonder if it was in that book where they were talking about there was one quest they stumbled upon that when they did it, it locked every door in the game.
Yeah, I think it was Witcher 3. Yeah,
So they had to go through and
Yes.
and manually unlock every door in the game because they couldn't figure out where in the code it had broken.
Brilliant.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, I
The
remember
opposite
reading
problem to Skyrim on PS3 then, where every door stayed open.
It's a
I
very
forgot
good-
about that one. That was awesome.
It's a very good book, by the way.
So if you
any
don't
of
like how
haven't read it.
Geralt handles in 3, you should definitely not play the first Witcher game. Whoo, boy, that is...
The first Witcher game isn't it top down? I thought it was a.
No, it's third person still.
Is it?
It's
I
really clunky.
I was gonna play Witcher 2.
Witcher 2 is
'cause,
so good.
yeah, it looks awesome, but yeah.
Did you
I don't
guys
know,
see
man.
that when the Witcher series first came on Netflix that weekend, there was more concurrent players playing The Witcher 3 on Steam than there was when it was first released?
Wow.
Well, it's in the zeitgeist, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love for you to play it, Mike, because I think
I'm on the
you might
same
like it.
page as you, though, Tom. Like, I really want to like it. I really want to
Yeah.
play it. My brother-in-law, Derek, it's one of his favorite games of all time, and he has done literally everything you can do in that game.
Jesus.
And he picked me up from the airport, and we were driving down to La Crosse. We had a couple hours in the car together, and we were talking about Final Fantasy and Witcher and all of that. And again, that topic came up. Like, I just don't... I don't know what it is. I don't dislike it. It's just...
What is it then? What is it? I can't get to the bottom of it. It's also a bit. I mean, it does fit that whole overwhelming thing, which I've always had a problem with open world games. Like here, boom. But I know you like that kind of thing with Skyrim. That's totally your jam.
I do, but on the other side of that, though, Skyrim is open ended. You go and discover what you want to do instead of
Yeah.
it being very heavily story driven.
Oh, that's true.
But
That's true.
now that I'm playing through Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I'm starting to change my mind on that. So maybe I'll revisit. I'm kind of at the point now. Do I want to play it on PS4? Do I want to get it on
Yeah.
Switch just to have it as a bedtime game, or do I want to play it on PC and just blow the graphics out the door?
Oh, because you can have it on PC like wide, fully wide, like it's ridiculous.
Ultra wide monitor, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a super massive field of view. And I've actually been contemplating getting one of the new LG super ultra wides, the 43-inch
Jesus.
ultra wide, so it adds 6 inches to each side of my additional monitor. Oh my god!
Fuck it out.
Because I get a LG employee discount on that, so it's now within reasonable purchase range. Like, do I need this? The answer is
Yeah.
obviously yes.
I want to like it too. I think it's because I like epic fantasy stuff. I wanted to get my hooks into a epic, that sort of time period RPG. But I don't know. Maybe Witcher Wild Hunt isn't for me. Maybe I should try something else. I
Well,
don't
there's
know.
a ton of sex in it.
Well, that's also
yeah.
That's also a pretty good. That's also yeah.
You should get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it probably had a huge resurgence because of the TV show.
Which I watched the first episode of, and then not for any reason, just haven't watched any more yet. Which
same here.
Which means that I must not have been that sold on it. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I should give it a chance.
Yeah, the fighting scenes are really well choreographed. I thought.
Yeah,
In
I
that
thought
first
so.
episode.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I watched a really cool vignette with Henry Cavill where he was talking about the art of the fighting scenes in there and how intricately choreographed they were and how they were using half swords in almost every single fight scene. He's using a full sword, but during the shooting of it, it's a very stunted short sword and the rest of it is added digitally
Oh,
because of how close the movements were. I mean, even with that half sword, they were still inches from each other's face, and everything had to just be so incredibly intricate.
Jesus.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find that vignette for you. It was so cool.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see it.
I'll see if I can.
So, random change of subject again, but we kind of got it on our notes, and I wanted to know what you guys thought. Untitled Goose Game winning Game of the Year at Dice Awards.
I don't agree with that.
Fair play. What a fantastic game.
No.
I'm not going to take that kind of lying from you, Tom.
This is the thing that kind of pisses me off about that, though. It's become this cultural icon, and it just has sort of taken everything by storm just because it's a cultural icon. By all accounts,
I think that the memes are carrying it more than the actual gameplay itself. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the gameplay. I didn't particularly enjoy it, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's a fun game, but these were the other games that were nominated. So it was Untitled Goose Game, which won. Control, which admittedly I've not played. Death Stranding, Disco Elysium, and Outer Wilds. Yes, do you mean Outer Wilds? Outer Wilds, Outer Wilds.
Which one?
Before you start.
Wow.
To get like Game of the Year over some of those, which
Yeah,
admittedly
I
I've not
disagree.
played most of them, but knowing how they work, like,
I don't know.
Dude, I need to put more time into Disco Elysium because that game is fantastic.
I'm waiting for the Switch.
You know
release,
what
I think.
game I have not
Is that going to come out on Switch? Nice.
Apparently, yeah.
Wow, that'd be awesome.
Console is. I think it's all just been brought forward. The console release, actually. And let me have a little Google for you, Tom.
Thank you.
You know a
What were
game
you
you
gonna
guys
say, Eric?
recommended to me that I just cannot get on with anymore?
Oh, no.
Katana Zero.
What?
I just,
No.
What happened? What happened? What happened, you little bitch?
I don't know. I just don't like it.
Fucking Jesus.
Yeah, I love the
Christ.
world. I love the character, but it's just, maybe I'm just not in the right mindset for one of those, hey, just keep
Super
doing
Meat
this
Boy
till you
style things.
accidentally get it right.
So, result of my Google, Tom, is coming to Xbox and PlayStation at some point in 2020, and there is no current Switch port announced as of yet.
Fair enough.
Okay. Anyway, Katana Zero. How? Why? The game is brilliant.
I thought that would be your jam, Eric, if I'm honest with you.
I don't know.
And now I'm second guessing sort of everything
Oh,
that I've ever
Come
recommended to you.
on.
I'm just, I'm not trying to be a dick. It's just,
Second guessing your existence, you know?
I'm not trying to be a dick, but fuck you, right?
No, I thought that would be a sure winner for you.
yeah.
I like it. I just can't. I don't know. I hit a point with it where like I'm not in the mood for this right now because it is brutally difficult at times.
It can be, yeah. But then you learn and you try again. You know the Souls experience. I know what you like, Eric. Hey, I know what you like. The little things give you away.
I don't know.
I just for sure, like, especially with that soundtrack as
Mike,
well.
have
'cause
you
that
taken a
game's
trip to the
soundtrack-
sun?
Oh, right. So there's no curtains up in this room yet. And unfortunately, the sun is shining directly onto my
Either
monitor
that or
and
there's
onto
a
my camera.
meteor just streaking
Yeah,
into Sheffield.
I'm really struggling to see my monitor at the moment because the sun's just. But like I said, I haven't got any curtains up in this room yet because this is the
Storm
office.
Dennis really stepped
room.
up its game.
Yeah. Sorry, there's not a lot I can do.
Oh my God, it's getting worse.
No, I'm sorry.
Just
Boris
move your
pressed
head
the
in
red
front of
button.
it.
Well, my microphone's here.
So move your microphone. There you go.
Yeah, but I don't want to have clanging and banging on the. I'm not the Rock. I don't want clanging and banging. Rock was clanging and banging, clanging and banging. There we go. There, you can't see all the junk that's in this room now. But yeah, the Dice Awards, some weird winners on these. Outstanding achievement in game direction was Control, which like won over like Disco Elysium and Outer Wilds as well. And outstanding achievement in game design, Baba Is You, which Baba Is You is brilliant. It's a great game, but again,
Still would like to play that, yeah.
that won over Disco Elysium, Outer Wilds, and Sekiro and Slay the Spire. Portable Game of the Year, Sayonara Wild Hearts. Now, they got that one right.
That game is brilliant. That game is
Ooh.
fantastic. I had
Yeah,
a really good time with that, yeah.
I finished that recently. I want to play through it again like the endless mode, so it doesn't have the cut in between.
I started playing the endless mode. That is you got to set some time aside for that one, because you can't just leave it. You can't suspend it.
What you can't? What, you're pressing the home button?
I think it's just never ending. I mean, yeah, okay, so you can press the home button and sleep it, but you can't exit to the main menu or quit the game.
Have you looked into Sayonara Wild Hearts, Eric?
Yeah, I played a little bit of it on Apple Arcade.
No, that is the worst way to play it.
I know.
Because I did the free trial of Apple Arcade and I played it on there and I was like, this isn't all that. And then I heard like people just banging on about it. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to give it a go on Switch. And I think it was on sale and I got it. But if you don't know Sayonara Wild Hearts, it's weird. It's kind of like a pop album as a video game is the only way I can describe it.
It's a good way of putting it.
When you first start playing it comes across as a bit like it's not an endless runner, but it comes across like it's just going to be like an endless runner. You basically control someone. I think the first stage is you on a bike, isn't it? And it's all these kind of really sort of basic neon characters, but the entire world is this weird kind of neon world as well. And the visuals on it are just absolutely stunning. And like I said, it seems like it's going to be an endless runner where you're on this motorbike and you're literally just moving and collecting things. But as the game progresses, there's all these kind of weird little stages. You end up doing all these other little things. I don't want to go into it because I don't want to spoil it, because some of it is legitimately a surprise as you go through. You're like, fucking hell, I'm doing this now and I'm doing this now. And the soundtrack is just amazing. And me and Tom have said that, we've unlocked kind of the endless mode. It's not an endless mode, but what one of the downsides of the game is, as you do, each level is a music track. And that is always then cut short by it going to the results screen and then going bronze rank and stuff like that. Whereas after you finish the main game like that, you then unlock the mode where it all just transitions from level to level to level to level. And I can't wait to actually play it through. I only played it on Switch, and I didn't even do it with any headphones or anything like that. Most of it was handheld. I did do a bit on the TV, but yeah, that soundtrack is pumping. It's almost kind of like Japanese pop, but it is good. Yeah. It's real good. Yeah, I'm glad you like it, Tom. It randomly has areas of like rhythm game stuff as well, doesn't it?
It does. I thought I like that. It's sort of sprinkled in. No, it's a really good time. It's a good recommendation, Mike. Thanks for that. I really love it. So I couldn't stop smiling during it because it's all very fast and flashy lights and rhythm stuff, and it's all that. I love all that good stuff. Nice art design too, kind of like very flat geometric neon style. It's totally right up my my alley.
Right up your pooper.
Yeah, I played a little, same as you, Mike. I played a little bit of TV mode, mostly in handheld. I wouldn't mind playing it again with headphones, actually. Probably would lend itself pretty well to that. So
it's those Switch speakers. They're not too bad, but they're obviously a lot more tinny than the experience you get on TV, which is cool. But yeah, Sayonara Wild Hearts was one of. Oh god, that got a nod.
Yeah,
but yeah, outstanding. Like Goose Game also won outstanding achievement for an independent game. Like. I don't know. Like Eric said, it was definitely carried by the
memes.
Yeah, for sure. I just don't get it. I don't know. But another one as well, Racing Game of the Year, right?
Oh yeah,
it had Crash Team Racing.
Wreckfest, right? It was Wreckfest.
No, Mario Kart Tour.
That game was universally revered as
pile of garbage, trash. Yeah.
Wow.
I played 2 races on it and uninstalled it.
I don't know. Like, just some really, really weird winners here.
Huh.
I just don't know. But yeah, check those out if you have a chance. It is really, really strange. But Luigi's Mansion 3 got outstanding achievement in animation, which I quite like as well. So
I'm so glad you finally finished that.
Yeah, you guys said you've been in a bit of a gaming slump recently. I've actually, been on a kind of a finishing streak recently. So obviously I finished Death Stranding before. I finished Final Fantasy 15. I finished Luigi's Mansion 3. I played through the entirety of After Party as well because it was on Game Pass. And I was waiting for it to... I'm not sure if it's come to Switch yet, but I know it's due sometime soon. I was going to wait for it to come to Switch because I played Oxenfree on Switch, and that was a good one to play portably at work. But it was on Game Pass. I thought, fuck it, I'm going to play it. According to how long to beat off, it's only about 5 hours. So I'll crack on with it. And yeah, that's a real good time. If you like that kind of Oxenfree style storytelling game, but also want to have just a huge giggle at all the references and the characters and stuff like that, After Party is a good time. I didn't enjoy it as much as Oxenfree, because Oxenfree had kind of mystery about it.
It was a cool game.
Yeah, and it kind of has that sort of horror element and mind-bending stuff, whereas After Party, it definitely wears what it's doing on its sleeve. It's absolutely hilarious, but like it just has like a huge kind of cast of characters, whereas Oxenfree had kind of just the group of friends really, and there was no one else. This one, you're constantly going to different places and meeting brand new characters and supporting characters and things like that, and you're always interacting in kind of a different way, and the drinking mechanic is great as well. So you get, when you go, most places you go to are like bars and discos in hell. So for context, if you've not heard of After Party, you play as these two characters who have died and gone to hell, and they find out they can get back to Earth, like be alive again, if they can beat Satan in a drinking game. They can outdrink Satan. And, yeah, it's as silly as you can imagine. And yeah, the drinking mechanic as you go through, so the story beats and the conversation, you obviously have the story, the conversation selections throughout the conversations, and if you get a drink from a bar first, you can drink the drink as you go, and it will give you other options. And depending what drinks you get will change what options you get. So there'll be like certain, it tells you when you choose your drink. So there's one that's like, like a drunken, this one will make you out like a drunken pirate. This one gives you Dutch courage. This one makes you like a lovable flirt and things like that. So depending which drink you're having at the time. So in some ways there is quite a bit of replayability with it if you want to go through and hear the other conversation choices and stuff. But yeah, it's good fun. It's real good fun. Plays very choppily though. I play it on Xbox One X and frame rate stuttered quite a bit.
Is that when you said it's on Game Pass?
Yeah. It's on Game Pass.
I'll have to give that a look.
It's not long. Like I finished it under 5 hours.
Wow.
But it's very, very choppy, the frame rate. And also there was one point where one of my characters, whilst having a conversation, got stuck in the same pose. And then when the scene carried on and they walked off the scene, they were still in the same pose as they were walking. And then got into, there's like a taxi that they use, got into the taxi and was still just stuck with their arm up in the same pose. Which was weird. Yeah, bad. And the voice acting is generally great. It has names like Ashley Birch and Dave Fennoy and stuff like that in it. But I think for the most part, it's great, but it does sound like they recorded it in a bit of a rush, because Ashley Birch's character, especially if you're not familiar with Ashley Birch, she voiced Aloy in Horizon Zero Dawn, various other great roles as well. But there are points when it sounds like she just absolutely rushed her line, and they went, "Oh yeah, that'll do." You know how sometimes when you watch like English dubbed Japanese anime and they have to quickly fire the line out to fit in with the scene. It almost sounds like she's doing that. Which is a little strange. But yeah, if you like kind of story-based stuff and you want to have a good laugh, it's great. It's really, really funny references, and they play with the whole thing of hell and Satan and God and everything like that. It's just a really, really, really funny game. And you end up at the very beginning, this isn't much of a spoiler, but at the beginning there's you end up meeting your personal demon, and there's certain points of the game where your personal demon, like, is an actual character, comes and is a bit of an antagonist to the main characters and stuff, and that's quite funny stuff. And then there's a social media platform in hell called Bicker, and as you're walking around, you'll see people with mobile phones, and you see what they're posting on Bicker at the time, and they you just see things like, you'd think after 20 years of pissing a 100-foot centipede every day, you get used to it. Hashtag that damned life and stuff like that. Just really, really silly stuff like that.
I have to watch out for this one. It is on Switch, isn't it? I seem to remember.
It is either on Switch or it's due to come out on Switch.
Got it.
I'm checking for you right
sure,
now.
But yeah, I know it was due to come out sometime soon. I think it got delayed. Let's put Switch release date.
Just says 2020.
Yeah,
that's all it says.
Okay.
Nice. I would recommend it.
Good.
I think you would like it.
Cool.
Like for a while you had a light bulb above your head, Mike. Like you had an idea.
Here I am, finally in heaven, somewhere I belong.
It's all right. You're creating a nice little shadow of the day now. Got it all nice and covered.
Yeah. No more sorrow here.
No, not a fucking ounce. Now,
Not a thimbleful. Right, has this sun moved yet? Can I go back to where I was? 'Cause this is very uncomfortable.
yeah, you get comfortable. Get comfortable. We're about to dive into
Jesus Christ.
our game of the week. Are we not, Eric?
Can we not?
Are we ready for? Are we ready for it?
No. Can we just not?
Hang on.
Oh. Are you going to do it to the cat? Do it to the cat.
Game of the week.
Oh, it's a lovely cushion.
He's a little bit. He's not quite.
Not quite in
He's
frame.
not quite moved.
Oh, he looks all comfortable, bless him.
Yeah,
Little spooks.
Good
That's
old
a little
spooky.
spooky.
Little spooks.
Good old Spooky. Spooky, you hear that?
You're the game of the week. You'd probably be a hell of a lot more fun.
Oh, God, here we go. You know what? I've been just not looking forward to this all week because
No.
Eric is just going to be insufferable for the next however long we talk about this.
Oh, God. I usually don't piss and moan about games, but fuck.
Bullshit.
I never piss and moan about games. I love all games.
Bullshit. There's 190 plus episodes of a certain podcast I could point you towards that says otherwise.
Eric,
What?
please would you mind, giving the introduction?
No.
A forward, if you will.
I'm trying to find what I did, what I said. Do you remember where it is? Let's see.
Oh, yeah. I think I do remember what you said. You said something. You were pretty.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
The gloves were off, weren't they?
Here we go. This is it. This is the recap for our game of the week, which is the Revenge of Shinobi on the Sega Genesis or the Mega Drive.
Mega Drive.
The Revenge of Shinobi is a shit sequel to what is probably a shit original game. You walk forward horribly, throwing kitchen knives at exploding mummies before facing an unfair stage boss that you'll end up save stating your way through after each hit, because beating this game without doing so is neither possible nor fun. That's Revenge of Shinobi. Can we move on to our next game?
That's it. That's a wrap.
What do you think of the soundtrack, Eric? When you first
So
loaded
the
it
first
up?
time you asked me that,
Yeah.
I didn't really even notice that there was sound in the game. But then
Okay.
I got to the factory stage where there was just that one really catchy beat. Like, this is really out of place in this game.
See, the music is from the same guy or two guys that did Streets of Rage, which really comes through because a lot of the sound effects are from Streets of the Rage too.
Yeah, and there's even like a
I
Sonic
understand.
coin sound effect at some point, too.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of picking up items, and the end of the stage clear screen is a very Streets of Rage. Even the fonts are pretty much the same.
So they really pushed the boat out on this one.
Yeah, but I asked you about the soundtrack because it's pretty banging.
It's
That
not.
first
I thought it
level,
was.
It's not.
son, we all know that the Mega Drive had the superior
Oh,
audio.
you
trip
can just
to
go
the-
squat on some brat right now, because that is wrong.
Think about it.
No.
What's a good game that we can compare?
Rock
It was
and
one
Roll
that you sent
Racing.
me. Yeah, right. Listen to Rock and Roll Racing on the
Oh.
Genesis, and then listen to Rock and Roll Racing on the SNES.
Now I know you're just being a hand job.
Good Lord, if there's not such a stark contrast between the two in huge favor of the Genesis.
Oh,
because
no,
the
nope.
blast processing chip really comes to play.
You can't even say that with a straight face.
graphics.
You have to admit, the sound difference between the Genesis and the Super Nintendo on Rock and Roll Racing is appalling.
I mean, on the SNES, it sounds like flying through a tin can, and
No, you're confusing it. The Genesis is the black one, and the Super Nintendo is the good one. The
But
gray
you
one.
got to think about it, Eric. Right. Over here, we had it was the Mega Drive, which is the correct
Yeah.
name for it. Now, the Nintendo may have been Super, but the Mega Drive, that was Mega.
I'd rather be Super than Mega.
What? So
They're not called
prefer
Mega
Superman
Heroes,
over Mega
are
Man?
they?
Is that what you're saying? You'd rather have Superman than Mega Man?
oh,
No.
he's got you.
Fuck, I'm
Two
editing
blue
that
men.
out.
Which blue man is better, eh?
Oh no! But they're not called superheroes. They're not called mega heroes. They're called superheroes.
Yeah, well, Mega Heroes would be better, surely.
I don't think they would.
So Mega Man's not better than a superhero.
Yeah, he is, because he's a man. And he's
So Superman.
I don't know where to take this argument.
And Iron Man.
I would describe, if I could describe the Revenge of Shinobi in one line, it would be a very
Jesus, this is hard.
a very difficult Streets of Rage.
I would describe it as a flaming pile of shit.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's
generous.
Have you got any kind of bipartisan views on the Revenge of Shinobi?
That is bipartisan review. I wanted to be done with this game after the first screen of the first level.
No.
Because
Here's
the thing. Here's the thing.
Tell me why.
Okay. So Revenge of Shinobi existed in a time when games weren't very long. So they had to create artificial longevity. And they did that by making them unfairly difficult, where every mistake you made was punishingly difficult. And it doesn't make the game fun. This game is so brutally unfair on absolutely every level that if you're... I don't think you can physically beat this game without save stating unless you just memorized placements of absolutely everything. And that's not fun. That's just, okay, I'm just going to keep doing this over and over and over and over again until I get lucky enough.
Granted, this has a much higher difficulty than probably the examples I'm going to give, but the original Super Mario Brothers, I suppose it was like that. You were essentially memorizing the levels.
But that's fun. That's the difference. You're Mario, you're a plumber, you're jumping on things, you're eating mushrooms, you're killing
this one,
turtles.
You are the hilariously named Joe Musashi.
Yeah.
And you're a ninja.
And you throw knives at people that make them explode.
No, nice.
Yeah, what's not cool about that? Imagine saying that to a kid.
You know what
you're a plumber. You jump on little mushroom guys, and you eat mushrooms, and there's rings for you to collect. And then, you're this ninja who throws knives at people that make people explode. I know what I, as a kid, would have gone towards.
But the difference is...
Just for the record, I'm not saying this is better than Mario, for the record.
The Italian guy controls really well.
Jesus Christ.
Joe Ninja controls like a dead slug.
Yeah, I will admit, for a ninja, he's not very nimble, is he?
The walking animation is pretty funny.
Yeah.
He looks like he's walking with purpose.
Or that he just shit his pants.
Not very nimble. He's just like doing a slightly faster walk because he really needs the bathroom. That's kind of how it looks.
Gotta go fast.
That is how it looks, honestly. And the jump is unnecessarily high.
I will admit, I did not realize until the second stage that there was a double jump.
Idiot.
Because the double jump is not like you can't just press it whenever. You have to wait till he's at the apex of his jump then hit it.
The timing is quite something.
You're a ninja. You've got to know the discipline.
If you were a good ninja, you'd be able to double jump as soon as you jumped.
Maybe not. Maybe he has the discipline. You got to think about it. He's the shinobi. He's revenging.
He's not a good ninja because he has to travel all over the world to find somebody, and you just go to the actual location. Why do I have to bounce all over the goddamn planet?
And also, everybody knows where he is.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Mario just go to the castle where the princess is being held?
Well, he's on his way.
Yeah. Why does he go to all those wrong ones? What an idiot.
Yeah. Why does she?
A good plumber knows how. If he goes working on your pipes, right? Not a euphemism. Goes working on your pipes. He knows how to discover where the leak is coming from as quick as possible, because otherwise you're just going to have water everywhere.
Maybe he's got a shit dispatcher who sends him to the wrong castle.
But if he's obviously following the wrong, to relate it back, he's following the wrong pipe to get to the leak. He's following the wrong place to get to the castle, and then there's Toad there going, you're in the wrong castle, Mario. And all that shit.
A Toad.
And he's like, Toad, you hurt my ears. Where's my cake?
My brother remembers buying this game for about $50.
How disappointed was he?
In 1992, I think. He really liked it, but then you have to think back then. What else was there?
Well, you had to like it because you spent all your money on it. You're
Super
like, yeah,
hang-on.
this is great. It's like when you buy something that all of your friends know is shit, but you sit and just try to defend it as being great because you don't want to admit that you made a bad mistake.
No, Mike makes a good point.
Oh, is it like when you started
alternatives-
liking Mega Man?
No.
Yeah, I have to admit, Mike makes a good point there. Like, what the alternatives were, things like Older Beast, Super Hang-On, Columns, Mega Games
Football
1.
Italia.
I mean, these are what we had with Sega.
Or
I would argue.
Hear me out. Wait.
Go on then.
You could have bought a Super Nintendo and had better games.
No. Look, in Europe, the Sega Mega Drive was more popular than the Super Nintendo.
Another
That's
reason
just
we
a
left
fact.
you.
During the 16-bit era, it was a more popular console. I don't know necessarily why, but, something about better. I guess it was just better, I guess.
I don't believe you.
Is that blast processing again?
The blast processing.
It was probably popular amongst your group of friends because you bought it and realized it was crap and didn't want your friends to have the superior system. So you guilted them into buying the Genesis so that misery loves company. The whole nation was like that. You're like, one person bought the Sega Genesis, like, this thing is shit. I don't want everybody else to buy the Super Nintendo. So I'm going to start a public campaign to get everybody in the nation to buy a Genesis so I'm not alone.
You realize that the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis is still super popular in Southern America. Why isn't the Super Nintendo more popular?
Because a new console costs like $4,000 there.
Like, I don't understand. I don't know what point you're trying to make. Like, think about it, right? I think the Mega Drive, look at that console and try and tell me it didn't look cool.
Look at that Super Nintendo that we had and tell me that
The
you
one
do
in
not
North
want
America
to
is
just climb
fucking
in
ugly.
bed with that thing.
That, the one with the sharp corners?
Oh,
You
God,
wanted it.
yes. Love
You didn't
me
have
some
the curvy
angles.
one, the European and Japanese curvy one. That's what you want, son.
Yeah, but you're the one who's sitting here telling me you love the sharp angles of the original Lara Croft. You can't sit there and tell me that you don't. It's the same concept. Like, just think of the corners on the Super Nintendo as the edges of Lara Croft.
Fucking hell, you're on crack. Right.
Who
Mega
the hell is
Drive.
Lara Croft anyway?
The Mega Drive, right?
Also,
I think
the
right,
lead
it was back
actress
in that
of
time,
Tomb
back
Raider.
when the original PlayStation came out and Lara Croft, she was there, triangular boobs and all. Yeah, me as a teenage boy,
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
Digging it.
I'm into that. I'm
So
into that
suddenly you
triangular
went from
boobs.
from not
Sometimes I
liking
search for that
sharp,
on the internet
jagged
sometimes.
edges to loving them.
Ex-hamster, triangular boobs. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Look.
If I'm in the mood.
That
Give me some symmetry.
256K modem really only downloaded 3/4 of the resolution of that picture, so I had to be okay with sharp edges.
Mortal Kombat came out and they were like, do you want red blood or do you want no blood?
I will
And
admit
all
that
of
the-
Europe said, we'll have red blood, please, because we're not pansies.
I will admit the Genesis version of Mortal Kombat was better, but the controller is vastly inferior.
I'll give you that. The controller it wasn't great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Three
let's
buttons
put
in a
three
row.
buttons
What were you
all
thinking?
in a row.
Hey, no, don't give me the mocking. I just compromised, you little shit. I just compromised. We're meeting in the middle.
No way.
When
I
we
will die on
when we,
this hill. I don't care if it's the wrong hill. I'm dying
I
on it
believe you.
because
I
I have
believe you.
thing
chosen
is,
it.
this is how terrible, like because the Mega Drive controller is actually pretty terrible.
It is, it is.
Whenever we completely legally play these games on a different controller, which usually has 4 face buttons on the front, I completely just configure the controls differently.
Yeah, so I do. Hold on. So I do A as if you're looking at an Xbox controller, I do A as X, B as A, and B as C. So it's in that configuration, and then you have the X, Y, Z. So L is X, Y is Y, and R is Z. That's how I set mine up if I'm doing a 6 button.
I have no idea what you just said, but basically what I do, whatever is the jump button on the Mega Drive, would become X on a PlayStation,
There you go, Tom.
and then
That's
and then whatever would be a 10.
C.
no.
A,
Really?
B, C.
No,
Yep.
no.
No, sorry.
As
sorry.
you can see
A, B,
here,
C. A, B,
on
C,
this here
A,
Mega
B,
Man
C.
controller, the A, B,
Yeah.
C,
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
X.
A, B, C.
Y, Z.
Right, so it depends on the game for me,
Nope.
because most games you play on the Mega Drive, C is jump. So
Yes,
I changed
correct.
the configuration so that jump is
that one?
Say no. Say it was a PlayStation controller. It would be
that,
X.
okay.
Yeah, that would be jump.
Oh, okay, I
then
can
whatever,
understand that.
Then whatever is because most Mega Drive games you've got C is usually jump, B is usually attack, and A is usually some sort of special move, which is the case in
Yes.
this game, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
I have mine done. If it was a PlayStation controller, I have it so that the jump is X, the normal
Yeah.
attack is square, and then your special attack is circle.
Interesting.
how I
That's a lot of
configure it.
effort.
Interesting.
Not really, because you literally just go into the options of the game and change the configuration.
A lot of effort.
That's literally all you have to do. Is
Any
go into
more
the
time
options
you
and
need to
change
spend inside
configuration.
this game is too much.
Well, surely if you're spending time in the options menu, you're not in the actual gameplay section, which is what you hate.
Fair point.
Good point, actually. Yeah, it's a good point.
Great point.
Yeah,
But
fair.
anyway, The Revenge of Shinobi. It was released in 1989 in Japan and North America, and then came to PAL regions in March of 1990.
Should have
December
immediately
1989.
taken up residence next to E.T. in the landfill in New Mexico.
It was known as Super Shinobi in Japan. And if you, no matter what version you have, whether you've got PAL or American or Japanese version, if you put that into the region console you have, it will give you that name. So if you put Revenge of Shinobi into a Japanese Mega Drive, it will say Super Shinobi still on the title screen. Alongside Shadow Dancer, the game is a sequel to Shinobi, which I think was an arcade game and was on the Master System as well. And features an original score by the guy who did... it's called Yuzo Koshiro, and I can't remember what he fucking did.
Streets of Rage.
Yes, you already said that. I remember now. That was the big one I was remembering. And it's a 2D platformer. The plot is basically Joe Musashi is a ninja. I don't know why he's called Joe, because Ninja Joe's a not very
Old Joe
Japanese
Schmo
name.
the Ninja. Just out
Yeah,
throwing knives
there's a
at
criminal
people.
organization known Zed who has reformed and called themselves Neo Zed. And they decide to take their revenge on the Oboro Ninja clan. And they kill Joe Musashi's master and they kidnap his bride.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and he's got to go rescue them. And like Eric said, this game is you basically go around kind of throwing kitchen knives at people.
Yeah. And you pick up a bunch of
but it
power-ups that
can't-
you don't know what the fuck they ever do.
Well, if you read the instruction manual
Nope.
like I did, you know exactly what they do.
My completely legal copy didn't come with one. Tom, you can put the
Well,
controller down now.
my
We're
complete
okay.
legal copy didn't come with one either. I researched on the internet. There's this thing called Google.
What?
Yeah.
Is that how you get to X Hamster?
Lycos. I'm on Lycos right now.
I prefer Dogpile.
Or if you're at Tom's house, you use Ask Jeeves.
Yep. And then he'll go type it into Google for you.
One of the things I did like about the instruction manual is because I'm looking at it right now, it gives you kind of like a kind of break down the story, and then before the control section it has a title, Take Control, but then like you get to the next bit, which is just telling you about how to use the title screen, and it says Taiso, which is Taiso, and then in brackets, preparing the body.
Okay.
What?
Yeah. And then it says here, Eric, how you can change in the options menu your controls. So it starts off with type 1, ninjutsu. A, attack. B, and C is jump.
Quick
And
question
the
about
click-
controls.
Click of a button. You can change that.
The original Sega Mega Drive controller, all right, picture it in your head.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
have
I've
a
got a
question.
picture of it right in front of me.
Oh, nice. I have a question for you both, and if you don't know, maybe a listener can help. But the B button has a little dot on it. Why?
So you know it's the B button. It's in the center.
What, out of three buttons?
Look at your keyboard.
Yeah.
Look at your keyboard.
Yeah.
F and J have little divots on them, so you know where that's the home key for your fingers when you're typing.
I've always thought that's a good word, that. Divot.
Divot. It's not a divot.
needs to?
It's like a little braille bump. It's like a pimple.
You don't need these little ridgets. Just get a good memory.
Yeah, I don't ever use them, but when you're teaching keyboarding, most people like who the hell actually types properly like that? Nobody. That's who.
What are you
People
supposed to have?
get qualifications.
Are you supposed to
in
have
that
your
and-
index finger on F and J at all times?
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah, and
I
they move
guess that kinda
slightly
makes-
over to the other
that
ones.
is not how I type in the least bit.
Really?
No.
Yeah, I don't know if it is for me either, but sorry, I just wondered with that because it's only 3 buttons. I thought, why would
Hey,
you need
look,
to be reminded
some
where the
people
center
need
is?
help.
I know, I get it. I'm not bashing anyone that is that. If you yeah, we'll leave that one there.
So yeah, you have various attacks. There's the standard throwing kitchen knives, which
And
is
then you
supposed to be
have
shurikens.
scissors that you pick up,
And then which you can pick up, and
which give you 20
if
more
you get-
knives because you break
if
them
you
in
get
half.
close to it. Well, Eric, did you know? And I didn't do this because I wanted to be as keep it as normal difficulty as possible. Did you know that also in said options menu that you skipped, you can change the amount of lives you get and also the amount of shurikens
Yes.
you have.
And there is a
Yes.
secret to get infinite shurikens. So if you set the time, if you set the thing to 00 and wait for 30 seconds, it'll give you a sound effect and it'll switch to the infinity symbol.
Yep, I knew that from back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Waiting.
Yeah.
What time do you think I am? But yeah, this is the thing that kind of died off really after the kind of 16-bit era where you go into options, just give yourself more lives.
Yes.
I always remember like things like Streets of Rage and stuff used to have it as well.
Yeah, or like handicap modes where you can just like stuff like that.
But also when you get close to your enemies, he will whip out a little sword and he'll kill them. Which
only if you have
seems
the
to
power
be-
pack.
No.
Yes.
No, you.
Yes.
Oh, it's a dagger otherwise.
Yes.
Sorry, it's a dagger otherwise.
Yeah,
It's a little dagger
dagger.
or it's a sword. And he also does, if you hold crouch as well, he does a little leg sweep.
And it's good.
Which all
it's
seems
a-
to be a bit more powerful than the shurikens.
It's a good idea to use the when you're opening a little box, rather than launching a shuriken at it, to actually go up and use your.
Just
You know,
kick it.
don't waste a bullet on that one, so to speak. Little pro tip for the game you've already played.
Yes.
Reagan pro tip.
Did you guys discover the infinite lives glitch?
No.
So
what was
at
that?
the beginning, so the game is broken up into 8 sections. Each section has 2 levels and then a boss. So 3 levels. First 2 levels are actual gameplay, and then you fight a unique boss. At the beginning of level 4-2, there is a giant pit with a conveyor belt. So you jump up, and then you attack while you're doing your double jump, and you throw out 4 shurikens. And one of them will hit the base of that conveyor belt and release a Musashi symbol, which gives you an extra life. However, this one gives you 2 lives. So you grab that,
That's twice the amount.
die. So if you have 4 lives, you go up to 6. Die, you have 5. Rinse, repeat. But the life bar will only go up to 9. But you can continually you can keep getting more than that. So I did it probably 15, 20 times, and every time I died, it just stayed at 9. So what I did is I just got a bunch of those lives, and then anytime I'd come up to a boss, I would just continually utilize one of my ninjutsu powers, where you get yourself to
So
explode.
you, after all this bitching about the difficulty of the bosses in this game, you were fucking cheesing it.
I wasn't cheesing it.
How were you cheesing it? Sorry, explain again.
So
Just
you
what-
usually only get one use of your
the
magic power,
lies.
but you can
Yeah.
use the ninjutsu one to make yourself explode. It kills you, damages the enemy, and refills your health. As long as you have lives in the bank, you can keep using that.
Yeah, so basically there's 4 ninjutsu attacks. You can use 1 per life, apart from you can use the one that Eric was just on about over and over again. So there's the, and I am going to butcher these pronunciations, there's the Akazuchi, which is the Art of Thunder, which is the one that basically covers you in like a lightning shield for a little while, so your life bar won't decrease while you got that. There's the Kairu, which is the Art of the Fire Dragon, which does kind of Golden Axe style flames all over the screen. And then there's Fushin, which is the Art of Floating, which gives you better jumps and somersaults and stuff. And then there's the one that Eric was just on about, which is the Mijin, which is the Art of Pulverizing.
So I only
Which
ever
doesn't
use
sound very artful to me.
I only ever use 2 of them. The Ikazuchin by accident at the very beginning of the first level, because I pressed A trying to figure out what the buttons did. And
See, I did that as well, but instead a cop car came along and fired a missile and just...
Oh, he did an attack that took some health off you.
yeah. Yeah, that's because that's what happens in the old Streets of Rage.
I understand that reference.
We always used to do it, yeah. Sorry, Eric. Sorry.
That's fine. That's all I did.
But yeah, I did save state like a mother bitch on this because this is a difficult
Yes.
game.
Well, it got to the point where
I was giving it the big one on the last show going, I'm looking forward to a challenging game.
Nope.
Well,
I got all the way to the second boss without really a whole lot of save stating, but it got to the point where I started save stating after every hit within that boss fight just because I was getting sick of it.
remind me what the second boss was. So the first
the
boss
Kill
was
Bill
like the
dude
guy
in the
with
disco party.
Oh yeah, he was a bitch.
Oh, he's tough, but you just have to keep jumping and at the apex hitting the roll and then firing like 8.
No, so there was an
shurikens?
easier tactic for that one.
No,
Yeah,
just fucking.
yeah,
if
that's
you,
wrong, 'cause you're gonna run out of
infinite
ammunition.
shurikens- No, if you're using infinite shurikens, which you just said you were using infinite ones.
No, I wasn't.
You just
I didn't use
listen.
infinite shurikens.
Listen. Hey, listen.
I said how you can
jump-
get them.
Right, that's it. I seem to remember that you were jumping and then flipping, doing a figure 8, and then launching all 8 shurikens.
Yeah, but what if you went into the boss fight with no shurikens like I did? Because I fired all of them
Oh,
at the
shit,
enemies
did you
outside
really?
the door.
Ah,
So what I did was when he jumps, if he lands right next to you, you do a little foot sweep on him and kick him twice,
Yes.
and then so he'll fire one thing above you, and then one thing he'll duck down to fire at you. But if you jump up over that, he'll then jump underneath you, and then you just rinse,
Yeah.
repeat, and go back and forth on that. It's just a bitch, but he's a shadowy dude, so you got to kick like 6 shadows off of him, and then it becomes a super dark shadow. And now instead of firing 1 throwing star at you, he fires 4. It's just a bitch.
yeah, I was really bad at just wasting all of my ammo.
Yeah, because if you do it when you do a double jump, he fires out like 8 at once, doesn't he?
Yeah,
And it's
I just kept doing it because it just looked so
you keep
cool.
cheesing it, but then you're like, oh fuck, I have no shurikens left. But it's funny that you call them kitchen knives, Eric, because obviously the version that we played, they were originally like shuriken stars, but in some versions of the game, to comply with European laws, they were turned into worth throwing knives.
So this game
This is that
Oh.
same. I don't know if you're aware of this, but in Europe for a time, I think it was like in the 80s and 90s. For some reason, ninjas as a whole were kind of banned in Europe. I'm not sure why. It's the same reason why
Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Yeah, there's Teenage Mutant Hero
that
Turtles.
just doesn't have the
over
right
here,
ring
or
to
Ninja
it.
Turtles.
Teenage
Yeah,
Mutant
I mean,
Hero Turtle.
Turtles. That's what we used to
on
sing.
and you'll notice as well, like some of the old episodes of Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, Michelangelo never has his nunchucks because they were seen as like a ninja weapon, and like they was altered. Like there were points where he'd be like just holding a grappling hook instead of holding his nunchucks and stuff because of the editing of it. So I assume it's because of the same kind of laws of that.
So this game actually went through quite a bit of iterations too. The developer, I can't recall his first name. I know his last name was like Oba. He wasn't a very creative guy.
I had it here.
When he was designing characters.
Noriyoshi Oba.
Yeah, when he was designing characters, he just kind of created some sketches from memory based on film and comic books. And he gave those to the creative department, hoping they would innovate on them. But instead, they didn't. So we ended up with enemies like Sylvester Stallone, Batman, Spider-Man, Godzilla. Just blatant ripoffs. So because of that, copyright issues started to pop up. And there were 4 different software iterations. The first one was in...
I've got, there's 5 versions altogether, isn't there?
Yeah, the first one was in 89. So that's the one that had Rambo. It had some
Terminator.
Jackie Chan characters. There was a Terminator in there.
Godzilla, Spider-Man.
Yep. The Terminator in there called Hercules and Master Attacker. Then there was Spider-Man who turned into Batman, and then Godzilla who was called Monster G.
Can we just take that sentence as it is for a moment? Spider-Man that turned into Batman. Why?
I've never played a better game with all the heroes in it like that. So
Yeah, well, and then software version 1.01, Spider-Man was redesigned into the licensed character from Marvel Comics. Since he's real Spider-Man, he does not morph into Batman. Instead, Spider-Man leaves the battle when he's done enough damage is inflicted, and Batman is replaced by Winged Devil Man.
who's that? Oh, Batman.
Yeah.
Oh wait, there's also isn't there a Daredevil type character as well in the game? I think like pretty close to the design of Daredevil.
I don't know. I didn't catch that one.
No, I didn't catch that.
I thought there was. I'll have to look it up.
And then this version, the next version was the one that I think I must have played, because at the beginning, basically the alteration is that a new copyright screen is made to acknowledge the license to Spider-Man, which is also in the instruction manual that I found as well. It was in there.
So I must have had the absolute original version of this, because then the versions 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0, Monster G goes from being actual Godzilla into like a skeletal dinosaur.
Yeah, he was actually Godzilla still in mine.
So mine was Godzilla. It was clearly Spider-Man. It was clearly Batman. I had Rambo. I had Jackie Chan. I had the Terminator. I had all of them. So I had 1.0.
It wasn't Batman though, because the little bat symbol was red. Batman's is yellow. Also,
Well,
his bodysuit
only in the
and his bodysuit was like a strong slate blue, and it's not.
Okay.
They did
Tim Burton,
enough.
it was
Well,
yellow.
he was
They
a
did-
man that
No.
had bats,
They did enough for me to warrant fair use.
I guess.
They came up with their own characters.
Artistic interpretation, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting that final software revision that you were on about, Eric, is actually from, if you notice all the other ones from 1989, 1990, the final one, 1.04, was both from 2009 and 2012 releases. 2012 releases. The license use of the boss Spider-Man had obviously ran out. So the 2009 release for the Virtual Console and the Xbox Live Arcade and PSN 2012 as well, omits the Marvel copyright notice and replaces Spider-Man with a pink palette swap of the character that still behaves the same way as Spider-Man.
So it's the same character. It's like, just make him pink.
It's this was placed by various review outlets as one review outlet specifically labeled it as number 18 of top Mega Drive games of all time. How about that?
Must
Aaron?
not have been a whole
How
lot of good
about that?
Mega Drive games.
Top 18. Hey, right, that's it.
Yeah, review scores here, original publication scores. Megatech gave it a 94%. Mega gave it a 91%. And Wizard gave it a C-.
Clearly biased in the name of
No.
the publication.
No. Oh, hello, Mr. Nintendo Power.
Yeah, they probably would have given this a good rating.
Official PlayStation magazine. Ugh.
All right, so I'll be objective for a second here. In its time, it was probably a ton of fun. Because when you were spending money on games, you wanted to have a little bit of longevity to them.
Sure.
There is a reason these types of games are not made anymore.
I would like to know that reason.
Because they suck.
The thing is, Eric, right, and I'm not saying this to throw shit at you. Like, I know normally whenever I joke about Mega Man and stuff like that, this is not me throwing shit at you at all. Yes, this is much more difficult than anything sort of Mega Man throws at you, but the only Mega Man I've played is the original, right? And I've not played much of it. But
Jesus,
I
that's
feel
hard.
that Mega Man, in terms of the unfairness and the difficulty of the standard enemies and the platforming and stuff like that, is close to a level of this.
No, not even close.
And I
not
don't,
even
and
on
I,
the same
and
level.
I don't think I don't personally think in this day and age. I mean, maybe this speaks volumes of how shit I probably am at video games, but I don't think I'd get through the original Mega Man without save stating.
The original
No,
Mega
I
Man
wouldn't.
is insanely difficult. That one is borderline unfair in a lot of aspects. There's a reason a lot of people consider Yellow Devil to be the end of the game, because it's just that difficult to get through. Mega Man 2 is when it starts to flip into its actual formula of what Mega Man existed like for 20 years. So the difference between the difficulty of this and the difficulty of Mega Man is that Mega Man had a gameplay loop. There was a clear path through it. This was just throw yourself at this wall till eventually you get lucky enough, and oh, by the way, you only have a set amount of guys to get through it, and if you die, fuck you, you're back at the beginning. I can't stand those types of games. They weren't fun back then, and they're not fun now. As soon as I put this in and started dying on the first level, I'm like, I am going to just hate this.
It is hard these days going back that far. It is.
But I get
Every
it.
year that goes by, it gets harder.
I get it. Objectively, looking back at it, in the day, it probably would have been a friggin' blast sitting there playing it with your friends and be like, all right, let's try to get a little further this time and a little bit further this time. Not too long
It's
ago.
all you had, man.
Yeah, not too long ago, my brother-in-law was in town, and Super
It's
Ghouls
all
and Ghosts.
we had, and we were happy.
Super Ghouls and Ghosts is very similar in terms of...
We never wanted for anything else.
In terms of difficulty, it was very similar. So we sat there and we drank beer and we played through it and got a little further each time. So I guess I can see the appeal of that. But I think this one crested into the, okay, it's just bad. Not only is it a difficult game, I think it's just genuinely a bad game.
I don't know. Like I guess it's from the
Nostalgia.
days I grew up with a Mega Drive. Like I think I briefly played this because I'm sure this was included in the like 3 game cartridge that you got. The second one, was it Super Mega Games they called them?
Yes,
The original
Mega Games 2.
had Super Hang On. Yeah, the original had Super Hang On, Football
Columns.
Battalion, and Columns.
Yes.
The second one had
Golden
Revenge
Axe.
of Shinobi, Golden Axe,
Streets of Rage 1 and
One.
Revenge of
Shinobi.
Shinobi,
What a
which was
fucking
an
cartridge,
insane pack.
Yeah. And I remember, I think it was one of my cousins had Mega Games 2. And I think I briefly played Shinobi. I think I mainly played Streets of Rage on it. But these kind of 2D platformers are like almost like, in some ways, the bread and butter of the Mega Drive. And I think I had a bit more fun with this, not because I was nostalgic for the game itself, but nostalgic for the actual style of it. Don't get me wrong. Every time I picked this up, I was like, "Oh fucking hell! Like this is gonna be hard." Like,
Same.
Like, and I was save stating, but like I said, I think it was rose tinted glasses. This is kind of the thing that I remember playing around, other people's houses, or I rented things like this because these were so prominent on this platform. So I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it at all. Like it was frustrating and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think if you don't mind a challenge and you don't mind save stating, I think there's some fun to be had with this.
Once I got through
Yeah.
the second level, I did start to clip through it a little bit faster, and it was, I'm not going to say enjoyable, but it started to become entertaining on some level.
That's all he's going to give.
That's all I'm going to give.
Trying.
I got
He's
to the end of
trying.
this. Let's talk about the absurdity of some of these bosses here.
Well, I thought the first boss design was really cool, actually. Some of the boss designs later on.
He was the kind of Shogun guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's such a shame because that's so well designed and looks kind of cool, and then they kind of just fell off it and just were like, oh, we don't want to do. We're just gonna make Spider-Man and Batman.
Well, they love giving you a minuscule hitbox for all of your bosses.
That's true. That's true. Oh my god. I actually had a really bad strategy for the first boss, which was to get on the platform, the higher platform, and just keep launching 8 shurikens at a time.
Oh, Jesus. But you have to wait till he swings his sword, and you have to be on the
know.
ground.
I know, but I just I wanted to get through it quickly.
Sure.
Yeah. Then there was the Disco Ninja that we said.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the third level, this
the
was
train?
really interesting because, sorry,
The train boss?
no, the brain. This one, the computer in the vein.
Oh, yeah.
and the brain in the computer. But the weird thing, do you remember that video that I sent you guys? The music of this, like, sounds so much like Flying Battery Zone from Sonic and Knuckles.
Oh yes.
From the boss
Yes,
fight,
it
or just
does.
that level in general?
And then weirdly enough, that boss has like the laser on the ceiling and the laser on the floor. Well, the laser on the ceiling that tries to get you and it kind of blasts itself, which is on Flying Battery Zone in Sonic and Knuckles as well.
The Genesis
I
was
didn't
known for
catch that.
recycling assets.
Hey.
We've only got so much creativity.
Sorry, Doki Doki Panic. I mean Mario 2.
That's because us Americans couldn't handle the complexity of the lost levels. But hey,
But yeah, I got stuck on that brain for a little while. So the context, you've got this laser that's trying to hit you that you have a very, very small window to avoid. And then there's this like circular like computer that opens up and the brain in a jar comes out. And you have to kind of jump within the open section of the computer, hit the brain a few times, then get out of the way of the computer closing and then avoid the laser again.
Or
Yeah.
or you could just kite the laser back and forth around the outside and just time it so that you're on the right side of the laser when you see that the brain is open and just jump up and throw a kitchen knife at him.
I had no kitchen knives.
Oh, well, then that's
This was
why
my
it's
issue.
difficult.
Or whilst the game's playing, you can just try and rip the cartridge out.
You could just light the console on fire and have far more entertainment.
Well, I couldn't because in my perfectly legal copy that I was playing in my Vita, it didn't come on a cartridge.
Fuck.
Oh, fuck.
There's no, you don't get that fun of blowing the cart and slamming it in and pressing the power and nothing happens, so then you have to take it out and then wiggle it a little bit and then eventually the Sega appears on the screen and you're away. And there's a little line at the bottom, a little white line at the bottom of the TV.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
You get that every now and again.
Yeah.
Good times,
Do you guys ever just randomly think about how on, I think it was on Sonic 3D Blast, which you guys did play for the show.
Yeah.
You know how like normally it goes, Sega. On Sonic 3D Blast, for some reason, it comes up with the normal like kind of logo where it goes Sega like that and it just goes,
Yeah. Yes.
That was the
And
beginning.
sometimes- yep.
Yeah, that's how
sometimes
it was.
I sit there and think about that. And it makes me chuckle.
Was there any other game that did that?
Well,
'Cause
I remember that's how the Sega adverts were in the States for the longest time.
Were
Oh,
they?
really?
Oh, yeah, just the screaming Sega. That was the thing.
Must have never seen that. But
Yeah.
'Cause-
yeah, sometimes I think about that and it makes me laugh.
It is amazing.
So after that guy, we get to fight Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Terminator, who also resembles kind of the Hulk. When you hit him, he turns
Yeah,
green.
I thought that. Yeah. He was quite easy, to be honest.
Yeah, you're in a junkyard with a dude who throws cars and air conditioning units at you and then charges you. But there's platforms on each side, so he throws a car at you, you hit him in the head, jump while he dashes at you, rinse, repeat. And then about 10 shots in, he turns into the Terminator.
We can rebuild him. We have the technology. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, you're right. Then after that is the semi-boss, the truck boss, where you have to hit blinking sirens. Well,
Oh, I thought you meant like a semi boss, like a. Sorry, I didn't follow what you meant then.
yeah, we call them semi-trucks.
By the way, Eric, I was watching something the other day.
Okay.
It's an actual America. It was a documentary. Actually, it's the toys that made us. It's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an actual documentary, and it was talking about a moment where they were taking trailers somewhere, and then they just unhooked the trailer from the tractor and moved it away. Moved the tractor away. The tractor unit. Yeah. Do you remember me saying that to you? I Americanized it for you, and you claimed that Americans never, ever, ever call that a tractor unit.
I didn't say that.
Evidence is
I
mounting
didn't
up.
say that.
You did. I got the timestamp and
You
everything.
did. You outright said
No.
that you don't call it a tractor.
No.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, you did.
No.
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 Yeah. Then it's Is it Batman and Spider-Man after that? Spider-Man was a bitch, wasn't he? Wasn't he a bitch?
Yeah, because those webs would just follow you regardless of where you went.
Yeah.
Piss me off.
Does whatever a spider can, I've heard.
Huh?
Spins a web any size.
Oh.
Bastard.
Yes.
Did you guys know that the Godzilla boss, which was really fucking easy as well, is actually called Brontosaurus?
But he's not a
Have
brontosaurus.
these people
not.
even seen a Brontosaurus before?
I know.
And I will admit that I didn't actually do the last level.
Oh,
I
shit.
I tried that maze a couple of times. I was like, oh, fuck this. And then like last thing before I went to bed
Why
last
didn't
night, I was
you
like, oh, shit.
take the Dan approach and just watch it on YouTube?
Yeah. He admitted to this as well.
Yeah, got the screenshot. But tell
Fair
you
play
what,
to him.
Mike, you got to watch the final boss here.
You got to admit, he's honest. He was like, I can't be bothered today.
Your final boss is a
cool.
giant metal headbanging troll.
This video you just sent me, all bosses, no damage.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking kidding me.
Oh, yeah.
2 girls.
Wait, is this the entire game with no damage?
No, it's just the bosses.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
Anyway,
if you
go
go
on.
to like 425, it's the final boss. And if you've ever seen the Trolls movie, the kids' Trolls movie, how they use their hair to like, they do a little headbang and then launch their hair out to
he's
grab
got
things.
a proper like.
So-
I whip my hair back and forth.
Eric,
I whip my hair back
what,
and
the
forth.
sound in that video on the 3 to 4 second timestamp, that was the thunder I meant.
Oh, I'm not.
Like-
I don't have the sound on right now.
That was what I wanted you to hear, just that
Oh,
3.
I'm trying to scroll back, but all I'm doing is turn the volume down. Do I even internet?
Yeah.
That's a terrible sound effect, Tom.
Are you sure?
That sounds like somebody had stuck a microphone up their ass and farted.
Maybe that's what thunder sounds like.
That's how they did it.
Just guy comes into work one day and looking at his boss, and his boss is just rubbing KY jelly over the top of a microphone. It's like, "Welcome to work today, Bob. Hope you're ready for a good day. Mind bending over for me?
We need.
We got to get some thunder today." Oh, sir, there's a thunderstorm outside. Yeah, it's just the blast processor inside the Mega Drive is just too powerful for that storm outside. We're going to need you to take one for the team today. Hope you had some pib.
He gets his wife back. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, he didn't get his wife back for me. So it's a timed boss. So if you see in the background there's a big block of concrete that's slowly coming down.
Oh, yeah, I see.
And if you don't beat him in time, she gets crushed.
Crushed to death.
And she got crushed in mine, and it was probably for the best.
Oh,
Because
man,
if she didn't, she'd have to spend the rest of her life in this world with him.
I'm getting PTSD for the final boss of Spider-Man versus the Kingpin on Mega Drive, where I never managed to finish. Because there's a bit on that where Mary Jane's up on a chain about to be dropped into a pit, and you have to fight Kingpin, and I never beat him.
Oh,
Ever.
damn.
Ever.
So in watching this again, one question that I never really understood is, how do you sometimes have flaming throwing knives and sometimes you don't?
It was the thing that said
power-up
POW.
thing. Yeah, the POW thing box.
And how long did that last?
X amount of shurikens. I'm not sure how many.
So what I did at the final boss...
Let me consult the instruction manual.
Generally, the final boss on this game is considered to be too difficult. I just pounded through all of my pulverizing spells, and by the time I ended, I was down to like 4 lives. So every time he flung his hair, I just exploded next to him.
It just says Power Pack increases your strength and adds to your weapons. You throw your shurikens faster and more accurately. You gain a lethal sword for combat, and you apply the skill of Crossguard, warding off enemy Death Stars from crossed shurikens.
Ooh.
With crossed shurikens, sorry. And you didn't pick up scissors, Eric. It was just 20 shurikens.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they were scissors that he broke in half, and now he had more.
Well, yeah, true.
More knives to throw.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't hate this. It was hard, but I didn't hate it.
I did not enjoy it.
Aw.
Christy watched me play it, and she's like, "Why are you finishing this game?" Because I have to. Because if I don't, Dan Curtis will not let me hear the end of it. And then Dan's not even on, and this was his game. He likes to do that to us. He picks shit games, makes us play through them, and then doesn't come on for the show.
Was adulting too hard?
I wonder if I should finish it. I got to Spider-Man.
Don't. Just don't. Save yourself the pain.
Oh, did you not get past Spider-Man?
No. I was supposed to carry
was
on
a bitch.
yesterday, but I was too preoccupied. That was Saturday was supposed to be my day of finishing Shinobi, but
Oh, did you see on the
Shinobi
back of the
Saturday,
manual?
I think they call it.
yeah.
Did you see on the back of the manual there's a scorebook where you can put a date, your name, and what score you received?
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I miss stuff like that.
All the different enemies and stuff give you different scores. There's a full
See,
roundup of what everything gives you.
I
in
think
here.
we could probably safely assume that games were better back then. Hence the reason we do this podcast, right?
Yeah, cuz this actually has the name of the villain, the bosses, which are called power villains.
Ooh.
That Shogun guy at the beginning was called Blue Lobster. The disco guy was Shadow Dancer. They said Shower Dancer then. That computer with the brain in was called Computer. The Batman and Spider-Man boss was Master Attacker. Oh no, wait, no. Master Attacker, I think, must have been the car guy, the guy throwing cars at you. The giant armored car that you destroy is called Armored Car.
Creative.
What?
Godzilla was called Brontosaurus, and the boss, which was the last boss, the boss was called the Boss.
Oh my god.
Boss.
I didn't like it when those people turned up as nuns and then they were suddenly sexy ninja ladies.
Yeah. Well, the first time you come across a nun was in like level 2 or 3, and she just walks into a pit and dies.
Good work.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we go to some listener questions?
Yes, please.
Okay. First question from Mr. Zach Forley himself. Do any of you have an original Batman and Spider-Man cartridge of this game?
No, and if I did, I would light it on fire.
The totally legal version that I played had Spider-Man and the Demon Bat. James Hall asks, if you were a ninja, what would be your favorite way of dispatching your enemies?
Ooh. I would say...
Samurai swords.
Yes, the disembowelment.
The disembowelment.
Let's make your
brutality of it all.
insides your outsides.
I know that's very different from a ninja, but I don't care. I'm a bit of a hybrid. I'd be a hybrid.
What would you use? Yeah. Be all right.
Shuriken, straight to the testicles.
Oh,
And
I would wish that.
And then James Hall also says, game-related question. How often would you be knocked back into an endless pit or some other bullshit?
Oh
Happens
my
to me all the time
God.
playing the game.
Yes, that happened fucking
Yeah, especially
all
when
the
you need to
time.
jump over a pit and you can't see what's over
Yeah,
there, so you land and
yeah.
get hit.
Yeah. Oh, that is very relatable right there. Fucking game.
Phil Garside, what's the best ninja film ever made? Three Ninjas Kick Back, or Three Ninjas Knuckle Up? Trick question, really, because I missed out Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain, and that has Hulk Hogan in, so it's absolutely the best.
Oh, no, he's wrong.
Hulk Hogan, the massive racist.
No, the best ninja movie ever is Beverly Hills Ninja.
Oh, I've never seen it.
It's with Chris Farley.
I've never seen it.
Who?
Do you know who Chris Farley is?
Who? Let's
Oh
see.
my God, educate yourself.
Who?
Who? That's my thing. You're right. That is frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. What would I go with? Jesus, Teenage Mutant Hero
Not-
Turtles, probably.
Well, see, that's the thing.
yeah,
It's
you
not a
said that.
ninja movie because it's
It
a
is.
hero movie. It's a hero movie.
Oh,
It says right in the
Ninja Turtles,
title,
Teenage Mutant
hero.
Ninja Turtles.
They're not ninjas. They're heroes. So it's not a ninja movie.
It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It has to be. I'm with Tom.
Yeah, thank you.
I think the movie was called Ninja Turtles. So I don't know.
Oh, probably.
But-
Oh no, I don't know. Actually, it's pretty difficult, isn't it? It's quite a difficult one. There aren't that many mainstream ninja movies that would be particularly brilliant. A lot of them come out straight out of Asia.
I've never seen any of the Three Ninja films, but anything that has Hulk Hogan in, no. Bad man.
You really don't like him, huh?
No,
Mike used to love him.
Yeah, did. I used to get excited. I went to I actually saw him wrestle a few years ago, really badly because he's old and decrepit. And he, like when he went round the ring at the side, I managed to kind of clap his hand, like high five him, and I used to be proud of that. And then that sex tape came out, and he admitted to being a massive racist.
Oh no!
Did you guys ever
He has
see
a
that
sex
sex
tape?
tape? Yeah, did you never see it? Oh, it's the most hilarious
gross.
thing, right? He's like just sat there on the bed, like legs out straight, like flat, comes within moments and he's just like, when the woman's like mounting him and stuff, he's like, oh, I ate so much, I'm a fucking pig, I feel like a fucking stuffed pig. And then like he starts banging on about how like he wouldn't like his daughter dating black guys, and he actually outright says, yes, I'm a racist.
Jesus.
Oh no.
Doesn't work the crowd, doesn't do his signature leg drop, nothing.
Oh
But
no.
yeah, for, like whenever they roll him out, like for WWE seem to have forgiven him the past few years, and whenever they roll him out, the crowd go mental. I'm just like, no, not a good man, terrible man, asshole.
I mean, the roots of WWFE are pretty dicey.
Yeah,
Dicey.
yeah, he's an
We'll
asshole.
leave it there.
Dalton Sutor, who would win in a ninja star throwing contest? Also, who would make the best ninja? Taking into account the facial disfigurement you must go through to master the ability to be recognized. I couldn't be a ninja, I'm too loud.
Yeah, I couldn't. I'm too lanky.
Maybe Dan.
Yeah, he blends
Maybe
in, kind of like a hobbit. Just
Yeah.
blends in.
Spandex.
I couldn't see Dan in spandex.
I could. I'd want to. And then Phil Garside with a question close to my heart. Ninja challenge. Name a better ninja than Ninja Brian from Ninja Sex Party. Trick question. There is no better ninja than Ninja Brian from Ninja Sex Party, Phil Garside, and you know it.
I don't know any ninjas.
And then Leonardo from Teenage Ninja Turtles, second. Because
always-
he's the best Ninja Turtle.
I don't
Would
know.
you
I'm
say
torn.
that Uma Thurman from Kill Bill was a bit of a ninja? She's a bit of a ninja.
Would you believe me if I said I'd never seen any Kill Bill movies?
What? Oh my god.
I haven't actually seen him either.
Oh,
Fuck. Right,
Don't
I'm
at
off.
me.
I'm off.
they never really appealed to me.
It's not that they don't appeal to me. I've just never got around to seeing them.
They're fucking great, dude. You'll love them. Seriously.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd probably go with Reptile from Mortal Kombat. He's a pretty badass ninja.
He's pretty
Oh
cool.
yeah. Yeah, I forgot about those guys.
Yeah.
Wait, is the original Mortal Kombat film a ninja film?
that is definitely a ninja film.
What
'Cause
about? Would you say that Yoshimitsu from Tekken is a ninja?
He's more of a samurai.
I keep this is it. I keep messing up samurai with ninja. This is the problem.
Ninjas are behind the scenes. Samurais are like the
I know.
knights.
And again, probably Kill Bill might be more samurai as well.
Yeah, maybe.
And that Tom Cruise movie, The Last.
The Last
Go
Samurai.
on Wikipedia,
Samurai.
Tom, and if it doesn't agree with what you're thinking, just change it.
Because anybody
Well, that's
can.
not right. That's not in line with my opinion. Change. Have you guys ever changed anything on Wikipedia? Just a side note.
Oh, yeah. In high school,
No.
we used to just go onto any page and just put
So-
stupid shit in there.
I've legit changed things that have been like I've believed to have been wrong on random articles, and man, that community is hardcore. Like they'll either approve or deny your change and give comments either way, like huge comments on the exact wording of your change. I don't know who's doing this, but like, yeah, it's the most pedantic people on earth.
Well, I don't know. I think if you want to be, if you're someone who wants to be in the Wikipedia community, for God's sake, I'm assuming you must have some sort of like integrity when it comes to fact. Like you want things to be right.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I was editing like the synopsis for an episode of Peep Show, so I mean, there's things to be like passionate about and not. But yeah, totally, you're right. I mean, you know,
Yeah, but if you don't like Peep Show, you're probably not worth knowing. So
yes.
Oh, dear. So you should be passionate about it. I've been very opinionated today. Sorry, everyone.
That's absolutely fine. Not a problem. Not a problem. We like it. I like your opinions,
Yeah.
What about
especially when they
mine?
line up with mine.
I'll write a Wikipedia page about that, and you can change it where you want.
Oh, we should make a factory sealed Wikipedia page.
Didn't Dan start one?
Somebody did.
I'm sure Dan started one, and it had like some of the catchphrases and stuff like that.
Did it?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a Wikipedia page or a
Well, not-
fandom.
just a wiki.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
might
a
have just been a
wiki.
wiki.
Let's have a look. I'm sure I think Eric might be right. I think it might be a fandom. Fetch a sealed wiki fandom. Yeah, here we go. Let's see how long it's been since this has been updated. In jokes and references, it has 3. Burton Edna, Wagwan, My Bread Wren, and Het Happenings.
Oh, wow. Not bad, is it?
Yeah.
There's like episodes of Het Happenings on here.
Yeah.
I say episodes, clippings.
On part of my page, it says Mike also likes to cheat his way through Final Fantasy IX. I feel there's some bias here.
Bike Myson.
Yeah, and I also don't like that apparently one of my favourite phrases is, it was the will of the people. I stepped away from that when this whole Brexit shit started, so... God damn it, Daniel. Can I change this?
I don't feel like you should. This is...
Is this the one you guys are on Fandom?
I won't approve of it.
Oh, Zach's been editing it. Is it Zach who's actually... Was it
Yeah.
Zach who started this?
No.
What page are you guys on?
Sure.
The old fandom.
Oh.
Hang on now. I'll give you a little linky link.
Yeah, I see.
Oh, yeah, Tom's done it.
I got it.
Current hosts, implying we're going to get rid of someone.
Well, let's see who's at the bottom of that list.
Well, Eric, it's been a good run. Bad news, everyone. We don't know what we're playing next because we're taking we're having another little 3-week.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We're not sure because we're technically on an off week right now.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to have, what's the date? 16th. We're supposed to have a show next week and then on the 8th. So we're supposed to have 2 more shows before Vegas. But I don't know. We'll figure it out. We have no idea what's going on.
I'm holding the cartridge of the game that we're going to be playing.
Pac-Man?
Pac-Man.
Perfect. Have that done in 10 seconds.
No, you won't. This is really difficult, this version.
Nope. I'll have it done in 10 seconds. Stick forward, left, right, down, pick up dots, avoid ghosts. Game over.
No, but it's not about just talking about it, you being done with it. It's the historical...
Wait, did you say done or dumb?
Both.
Okay, because I can promise one, but not the other.
It's easy. Just avoid the ghosts. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Go up. Go up. Go round like the upper right side of the maze and come back on yourself like a sort of figure 9. And then avoid the ghosts. You're fine.
Is that just one more than figure 8? Hey, look, check this out. This is the worst. This is actually the worst version of Pac-Man. Did you guys know that?
Because you're holding it.
No, just carry on.
No, go on, Tom. I was only
Nah,
joking.
it's fine.
I love you, really.
Because it's the Atari 2600 port, which was famously awful. Famously awful.
How can you fuck up a game that is that basic?
Dude, you should look up videos of the 1981 version of the 2600 Pac-Man. It is so fucking bad. It is Miss Pac-Man that is the one you want to play.
Oh my god, I'm looking at a video of it right now. Holy shit.
It was all flashy and fucked up and awful. I don't know how they messed it up, but it was...
That's hideous. It doesn't even look like Pac-Man.
Nope, they really messed up. So that's why I managed to pick this one up for $2.
Yeah. There it is.
Look at that, Mike. Look at that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That
Do
is
you remember Pac-Man looking like that? Because I fucking don't.
No, I really don't.
And when you go up as Pac-Man, he doesn't rotate. His mouth doesn't rotate.
No.
Yeah.
Why did you buy this?
I got it for just a piece of nostalgia on my shelf because it says Pac-Man on it. Like, it sucks. So I'm never going to play it, but I just wanted to have it on my shelf. So
Do you have an Atari 2600?
hell no.
I got one. You can have it.
I'd quite like the one with the wood on it, though. That would be quite neat. Just as
yeah.
a piece, you know. But a lot of them have got woodworm now. So when your console gets woodworm, it's not good, guys.
Woodworm. He's smoking.
Oh, dearie me. I'm in just a stupid mood today.
Yeah. So the upcoming few weeks of the show are still a little bit in limbo.
Yeah, I like that this year we're like, oh yeah, everything's planned out,
Nope.
similar to last year, and it's like, nope.
2020 is like, hey,
Yeah.
welcome guys, dick punch.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
everybody, that we've been a bit all over the place. It's just
Yeah.
lots of shit's been going on. It's been a bit of a tough start to the year, but we'll slot ourselves back in very
I
soon.
promise
to
we'll
the-
start playing really good games here soon.
We are between the three of us kind of debating whether we're going to be able to fit some kind of recording any kind of content whilst the three of us are together in Phoenix and Vegas.
We could
But
probably do
we're-
some
we're
sort of
kind
recording
working on that.
while we're driving up to Vegas. That'd be fun.
What about when we're driving up to Vegas?
This episode is brought to you by our wonderful Patreon sponsors, with an extra special thank you to Zach Foley, Santos Lopez, Sarah Irvine, Peabody, Wes Rainey, Phil Gartside, Nicholas Bradley, James Hall, Thomas McGrew, Richard Cuttress, Jordan Lawfrey, Jason McGill, Stephanie, Chad Schaefer, Miles Prower, Jeremy Lucas, Shannon McIntosh, and Samuel Chan.